What is up, guys? We are live. Zach Ginn here and
Rick Ginn, aka Dad.
And we are here to show you exactly how to change your life in real estate wholesaling and exactly how to change your life today by doing your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, whatever real estate wholesaling deal. 10th, 11th. So this will be an exciting one. We're going to do a lot of Q&As today. We're going to talk to the people. But really what I want to talk to you about is changing your life in wholesaling real estate. So how can the average wholesaler they're watching our channel, they're learning about all the crazy stuff about wholesaling real estate. What can they start doing today to change their life?
Simple. Number one's first, get excited about the idea of doing it. Mm-hmm. If you guys think back, if I didn't make the change back in 2003, we all wouldn't be sitting here today. Mm-hmm. So it was, you can call it a brave act, but wholesaling to me is the fastest way to your financial freedom. And I'm not the only one that's proven. You're not the only one that's proven. It's been done so many times over and over. And if you go back hundreds of years ago, people have been flipping real estate forever. This is like nothing new. It's just much more mainstream now. So guys, get started. Stop reading so much stuff, consume the content, but you got to take precise action. I'm not a big fan of the word massive action. Because massive action can spin your wheels, but you got to take an enormous amount of action. You can't just keep talking about the theory. The difference between a successful wholesaler and one that dreams about doing it is the guy that goes out and actually does it. And that's how you learn. You got to get into the weeds and get it going.
I mean, I truly think action is the biggest difference between the successful and the not the successful people. And that's why a lot of people like seek our channel and seek other people. But truthfully, that's the secret to these other coaches and people that sell wholesaling coaching is they just tell you what to do. And you're like, oh, they need someone to give them action. And it's a funny part, but I truthfully believe that action's what it takes. And not everyone's marketing channel suits them. So I'm a big cold calling guy. I know you're huge into direct mail, other types of ones that you don't have to get cussed out on the phone 24/7. It's a fun one, but the next one I want to say is like, if someone would take action, what are some of the marketing channels you would recommend starting out right now, 2021?
Well, the beauty is there's a million options right now. So any type of SMS campaign you can get going. The reason I like that one, because it's perfect for the one man or one woman army. What I mean by that is if you're just starting out, guys, you don't need a staff when you start out. Trust me. Yeah. You do not need a staff. You just need you. And you're going to have to put your best hustle muscle. I like SMS because it's very scalable for a one-person operation, meaning you can send out thousands of texts and then you can just respond. Remember, the whole goal on that is to get them on the phone. So if I was starting out today, I'd be all over SMS. Cold calling is tried and true. It's been around forever. It's just you guys know more about it now than ever. But just going out and creating your own leads, don't overlook it. It's you talk about if you're lacking resources, you need to be resourceful. So what do I mean by that? Go out, do driving for dollars, connect with many people as you humanly possibly can. Yeah. And he or she who makes the most contact will have usually the greatest success with motivated sellers. It's a numbers game when it comes down to it. But you can talk about it all you want until you actually do the action. You're going through motion. So you have to go out and do it. Just like when you started, you got out, you made cold calls, you did bandit signs, like whatever it is. I hate cold calling. I think it's torture, but I know it works. I just don't want to call 1,000 people. To me, that's hard for me. Zach thought it was really easy. So that was an easy in for him.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's funny, but really, I don't think there's any excuses right now for anyone not to get a deal. I mean, to change your life, it only takes one deal. I truthfully believe that. I mean, I think, what did we have for today? We had three closings today, 2 closings. Well, we had some wholesale checks today.
Didn't you have a closing? Didn't we have one yesterday?
Yeah, you cashed that check or?
Yeah, it's deposited.
Oh, dang it.
We don't get many checks, but every now and then we got to work with a title company that gives us a check. But How much? What was the deal we did the other day?
That one was $28,409.43.
And just give them a crash rundown on that deal.
Well, okay. I'm not going to actually break down the deal right now. There's a reason. I'll make a little announcement here.
Okay.
I think I was telling you about it. So I created, the filming's actually done today. Another reason why we bought a cinema camera is because I actually, for the past month or two, I've been working on that wholesaling real estate documentary. So I produced a real estate wholesaling documentary from start to finish of a wholesaling deal. I didn't know how much I was going to make.
Okay, Quentin.
But Quentin Tarantino is calling me. But the reason I did that was I wanted to hold the hand. I wanted to kind of not fire my acquisitions guy on that deal, but I wanted to take the lead of it and show you me personally going at the sellers, talking to cash buyers, calling the cash buyers, having cash buyers walk to the property with me. And finally, we had the check there. Let's remember it. It was going to be $30,000, ended up being $28,400 and whatever dollars and 85 cents, $409.85. So I'm not going to get into the weeds of that because it's actually going to be a documentary coming up next month. Okay. Be pretty exciting. So keep a lookout on that. It'll be pretty cool. I'm going to put in four part series, but yeah, we closed on that yesterday. It was a woo. Yeah. But what do you got now?
Just keep in mind, I started in the same position. Most people are watching it. I started with 0, and I'm well in excess of 1,500 deals, just to give you an idea. If you stay consistent, keep doing it. But we did a little wholesale deal here. If you see the date on it, I don't want to give all my personal information, but August 24th. That's what, a few days ago.
Hold on.
We just went and got the check dropped off to us.
What is it? 11,000. I had to get in
11,000. Little tiny deal, but guys, these deals add up. Okay. And then here's a deal I've been working on for a long time on a HUD, and it came to fruition. So,
okay. I mean, that's fine. I just be careful right here on E.
I'm not going to show it. Like, listen, I have been doing this so long, but guys, it's a 6-figure deal, and it's dated. Well, let me fold it up here so I don't.
Oh, we're going to do a video on that deal. Actually, we can't because it closed, right? Shoot. Yeah, that property closed. So
it funded on. Well, it actually went down the 24th too, and we just wound up getting the wire today. And
what was the profit on that?
106. Guys, that was a subject to deal.
Let's break it down. Let's break it down a little. But I mean, wouldn't you agree? I remember this deal. We've been working on this for a while. Most difficult deal of the year.
Yeah,
hands down. But it's the biggest profit of the deal. So it's like, what are you gonna do? That one originally was in Palm Beach County, South Palm Beach County, and we got that on creative terms, and then the HOA had an issue, right?
Yeah, but so let's start. Where did the deal derive from? So we got a referral.
The best deals are always from referrals,
but it came from probate. So they literally didn't want the property. But you know why?
But I thought Palm Beach was too saturated to do deals.
It's too saturated. You can't do deals.
Just quit. Why are you even doing that?
I mean, we got another deal going on. Like, guys, listen, we look at everything. We now look at, truth be told, Florida gets more and more competitive. So we look to expand our marketing. So we now do townhomes, which we've always done, and we do condos. There's an inherent risk with those because you got to deal with HOAs. And we're very well versed in dealing with them. Unfortunately, we have to involve attorneys to get done what we need to get done.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit ahead because everything has to be approved with with these condos. So you got to, like, I've actually have to go sit in front of a board. And I think he uses me because I'm closer to 55 because now we can buy in 55 and older communities.
They're all old ladies.
But this deal, just to let you know, was it needed probate. The family goes, we don't even want to deal with it. It's a condo in South Florida. They just go, listen, you can just basically have it. We were still able to pay them. We paid the attorney's fees, and it took, for full disclosure, I believe 8 months from head to toe.
Oh, yeah.
But well worth every penny. I couldn't rent the thing out. I had to get approval, and Guys, I mean, deals are everywhere, and that they just assume it's a $20,000-$30,000, and they were upside down on the property. And I took the deal. I looked at it with my experience. We put it together, and it's that simple, guys. There's deals everywhere. You just got to find motivated sellers. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's so simple. Like the referrals, but I mean,
most people would have thrown this deal away.
Yes.
They would have thrown it in the garbage can. I said, give it to me. Let me take a look at it.
It takes it takes a lot of experience to get a deal like this. I think the average guy making 100K probably can't do a deal like that with the financing in place we did, but with the HOAs, no, that was the other deal. We're not going to talk because we got the vlog done on that one where they said that we weren't going to close, but let's close that deal first. That's that $70,000 deal we got in West Palm Beach, Florida, but let's not talk about it because I don't want the HOA.
We closed on that one.
No, we bought it, but we got to sell it. I don't want the HOA being mad at that.
Yeah.
So let's not talk about that. But the HOA thing, once it's closed, I could talk about it. We did some loopholes. It was really cool, but we're not going to talk about it because if the HOA sees this video, they are going they're going to be very mad at us. So I'm just trying to explain, like for most people, like 11 grand right here, I'll change your life right now. And I don't want to be this guru guy. Like, let me see your watch. You got your Rolex on? Like we're not out here like flexing Rolexes on you. Like we're not doing this stuff. We're just trying to be down to earth, showing you wholesaling real estate.
Zach, what kind of car do you own?
A truck.
An F-150.
Okay. Yes, it's a black F-150. Like it's not fancy.
See, now you're giving color. I didn't tell you to give the color of the car.
Yeah, okay.
Guys, it just like we are regular Joes. We live well below our means, and the idea is
are pretty good.
Yeah, I know.
So,
but
I mean,
like, why do I need to show you a flashy car? It makes no sense. I've never quite grasped that concept.
Well, you know, it's pretty flashy. I do.
What's that?
We do own together some a lot of rental properties. The
cash flow.
That's my big flex.
Cash
okay?
flow.
That's our
Checks.
flex on you guys. Is
Lots
rental
of checks.
properties, assets.
So
I'm telling you.
Yeah, if you guys understand the difference between an asset and a liability is if you buy something and it pays you, it's a winner. If you buy something and you have to pay it, you're in trouble. Like, because that's how the world operates. So,
well, we got some sub twos that we got to pay on.
Yeah, but it's an asset that pays us.
It's true.
And I'm not personally signed for them. So it's guys, there's so much opportunity out there. You got to take wholesaling, and you're going to run into roadblocks. Did you run into roadblocks when you first started?
Oh my gosh.
Did you ever get hung up on?
Hung up on?
Did you ever get told to take a hike?
I'd code enforcement chasing me.
Yeah.
In my car.
So
oh my gosh.
We've all had stories.
You remember that car? Remember the suspension? It was like on a boat. The thing was, remember the bumps?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It was.
I like to own cars till they die. And I kind of caught
that Honda. I was driving like crazy on that thing. I was just sticking bandit signs everywhere. That thing would move everywhere. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy where you come from, but I think that's another point I want to talk about. Anyone trying to change their life now in wholesaling, it's like, hey, my car's not nice enough. I mean, you used to have a lot of old cars. Didn't you in Port St. Lucie back in the day? I remember this. I don't remember specifically closing deals when I was like 7 or 8, but you had a stinking minivan. You had a white minivan. You're going out there closing crazy deals.
I had a
right.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was.
Yeah, but
it was needed, man. You guys were messy ass kids. Period. So.
Yeah, no, but okay. What I mean by that is, did the minivan, that beat up white minivan, were you still getting deals pulling up to someone's house with that thing?
No, I was. I
didn't
tell
care.
You, I guarantee if you pull up on a high-end sports car to a motivated seller, you're done.
But I just want to. So if someone pulls up to a minivan to a motivated seller, it's not going to stop the deal.
They don't care.
You're psyching yourself out thinking
they don't care.
It's crazy.
Listen, motivated sellers, they don't come to your house. You always go to them, and be careful. Like I see a like, oh, I'm going to wrap my car and stuff like that. Do you remember the one time I did that truck?
Yeah.
I bought an old UPS truck.
Oh my gosh.
And I put it on there, and you know what? It was a mistake, but
yeah.
I was going to have a mobile office, and nobody cared. Oh, and every time I pulled up a motivated seller, like, can you get that thing out of my driveway? You're embarrassing me, because it said, I buy houses cash fast. And I learned quickly, like,
it looked like Ted Bundy in that thing. It looked scary.
Had a lot of white smoke blowing out the back.
It was scary looking.
But that's the problem, is like, if you're going to if it embarrasses your sellers, like, don't do it. So some of you, like, I see a lot of people like I buy crack houses and they wrap their car. It's a really cool marketing thing. do not use that car to pull up when you go on an appointment because it's going to work against you. I did it the wrong way. I thought it was the coolest thing.
Well, shout out to that. You know who coined that term out in Tampa?
Yeah, Kenny Rushing.
Kenny Rushing.
Kenny Rushing.
He
literally
dude.
bought crack houses. Like, that's what he does. So it's
but shout out to him on that. That's a funny one.
He did the rap, but like, I don't know, man. He pulled it off. He
coined that phrase.
He took a Hummer and wrapped it and says, I buy crack houses. And he owned it and he married it, because the reality is he bought like 20 or 30 crack houses. He's like, I might as well just own it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's like brilliant marketing. But
you know who we got to get on here?
Who?
Ice-T. Not Ice-T.
Ice-T.
Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, he's...
we got to get him on here. That'd be a fun one.
He's in our market. So.
I know. He's right by us.
He likes to do the high-end stuff. But like, who doesn't want to do a deal with Vanilla Ice? Like, it's not
I want to do
fair.
a deal with Vanilla Ice. If
Yeah.
you're watching
So listen,
Vanilla,
guys, if you ever can partner up with a celebrity for wholesaling, do it, because it'll work wonders for your business.
Definitely. So let's get some questions going here, see how I can help the people out. But remember, guys, change your life today. Take massive action. It's going to change. I know that word kind of gets you crazy, but it's the going out there and taking that action. I mean, you had a job, you went there out to take action. I
had a mortgage, 2 young kids, and I had a really good paycheck, and I was miserable. So I guarantee somebody watching this right now can relate to it. And let me tell you what, I'd be in tears going home. I hated my job. I hate it with a passion. Can I tell them who I work for?
You already said it a bunch of times.
I work for Enterprise Rent-A-Car, where Will Ferrell said it best, where you can be your own boss.
Yeah, right.
What they don't tell you is you're in a suit, vacuuming out cars, washing them in like 95 degrees in the humidity. I'm just, those days are right. But what I did is I took bad information from my parents, and nobody taught me. So I had to really go through the whole hard school of knocks. And by me making that decision is the reason we are all on this live right now. End of story. So it's, so guys, use me, use Zach, follow people that you want to be in their shoes. Do not, I can tell you the biggest thing you can take from this is do not take advice from people that don't do what you want to do. End of story. Talking's one thing. Actually doing it, cashing checks and doing it is all the difference in the world. So stop taking advice from people that don't have a financial IQ. It's the biggest thing. And you know what? Unfortunately, your parents are usually the biggest violators. I was for a long time, my first 33 years.
Yeah. I mean,
401k was my advice, and go to get to college. And neither one of those things got me to the promised land. Not even close.
Definitely. So we do have some people in the back here waiting to get some video chats from us. Remember, guys, every week, I try every week, we allow anyone, like literally anyone who watches us, to do a one-on-one video chat with us. I'm not this big guru person where to get a video chat with me, you have to be part of our mentorship program where it's $2,000.
We're not going to bill them.
We're not going to bill them $1,000, $1,000 down, and then 8 easy payments of $1,200. Like,
do we have a funnel? We're going to sneak them in.
Yeah, the funnel is you log in for free, you get all the free content, and then you're out, and you go out there do action.
Guys, I mean, we're literally going to change the game on how this thing works. Listen, when I started out, you had, like, if you were a guru, nobody knew what a guru was back then. They had to spend a ton of money and time in 6 months to a year to set up.
Freewholesaling.com.
And then it switched to the online webinar. Hey, I'm going to give you an hour of free training at the end. I'm going to hit you over the head.
But you know what's the new one?
What's that?
My private Zoom. Go to my private Zoom.
No, but the other one, here's my favorite one is, well, let's set up a phone call and see if you qualify. How do you think people qualify for a program?
Do you have the money in your bank account to pay me right now?
Do you have a credit card? And if you don't, we got a payment plan for you. And number 2, do you have a heartbeat?
Yes.
That's it, guys. End of story, because it's a business. It turns into flipping students. Yeah. It's not about flipping properties. And guys, please, whoever you take advice from, I don't care if you pay them or they don't, please make sure they're actually doing the business currently, because what I did in 2003 and what I do today, like, some of the stuff works, but for the most part, you have to change. Like, Zach brought me up to date on a lot of, like, the
cold
disruptive marketing
SMS.
Channels. I didn't do them. And
Facebook cash
I was
buyers.
an idiot for not doing it. So I'm just telling you, like, people say, oh, I'm going to go concentrate on my students. That's a key for is, like, I don't want to wholesale anymore. Like, I'm not good at it.
Yeah.
I love it, man. I will do this till the day I die. I love.
I want to get your
flipping
take on a
properties.
couple things. Actually, I didn't show you these because we're kind of busy today. Let me go here. I'm gonna see if I can put it on the screen here, but I got this text today at the gym. We don't even own this house, but like I just get texts from people on SMS. This was like probably the worst
Looks like
text.
a long one.
It was on Call Rail. This was the worst text I think I've ever seen from a wholesaler. I want to critique this for you guys. I just look at it and read it, and I'm gonna try to put it on the screen for you. I'll read it, or actually, hold on. I'll read it to you.
Yeah, go ahead.
You let me know. All right. G''DA. Hold on, let me change the screen here.
What's that mean? Good day?
Yeah, but it was Gday.
How are you gonna put that on the screen?
I'll show you. Look, hold on.
Good Lord.
Hold on. There's a lot of moving parts here. Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna like just magically pop it up there.
No, hold on. It's got autofocus. Yeah. Gday, Janice. The Vero house business is worth a good amount. Thought about getting it on its success. You could just reply, cancel it, unsubscribe. Andy here, a local home buyer, and if it's available, I'm willing to take a look at your home at 315 16th Avenue. Does it sound like a plan? What I want your opinion is the person texted this. The Vero Beach house business is worth a good amount. Thought about getting in on its success.
It makes no sense.
It's like my favorite is the Bannatynes that go, we pay the most.
That's you're asking for hurting on that one.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, okay, you're gonna get the phone call unless you're an amazing closer, but you've already set the bar so high. I don't know how you're gonna wind up getting a wholesale number off of that.
That is what I'm trying to tell.
I don't pay the most. I tell people
crazy.
the truth. I'm not gonna be your highest offer.
And guys, this is my competition.
But I'm gonna be your best offer.
Exactly. I just think
never
it's
be
crazy.
your highest. Your highest. Listen, the rules of real estate is the higher the offer, the more crap you got to put up with.
Yeah.
And the reason that home sellers want to deal with wholesalers like us is they don't want the hassle. They just like, I just want to get rid of it. Have you ever sold something, Zach, specifically? Have you ever sold something like, just give me $20 and I'll move on with my life?
It's
Even
crazy.
though if it's worth 40, like just move on. I don't want to deal with it. Guys, I do it all the time. Like I don't do garage. I can't deal with a garage sale. I just can't deal with it. I'm like, just give me $1,000 or give me $500 for everything. I'm not sitting here for $5 items all day.
Yeah.
And that's what equate to. Everybody goes through it. People got stuff going on in their life, and you just got to be in the right place at the right time. And that requires you to be active in taking a ton of precise action.
Exactly. I mean, that's what it's about, taking precise action and just going at it. So let's get some Q&A going from the people. I know I got some people in the back. We got some comments. So guys, if you want to get the video chats, it's locked for now. You got to be in Wholesaling Houses for Real. Again, that is Wholesaling Houses for Real. That is our mastermind. It's actually the top of Mastermind. You also go to freewholesaling.com, but it's the top mastermind in the country. We got 16,500 people in it, which is kind of crazy, but it's Wholesaling Houses for Real on Facebook. So facebook.com/groups/Wholesaling Houses for Real. That's our mastermind. That's where I put the link in every week to call in, talk to me one-on-one. So if you're not in it, hey, there's no way. But if you want in, or if you're already in the group, the link to join there on the things right there. And
guys, get in. It's free. We're the only organic group out there. How much advertising we spend this year?
$0.
Zero.
I don't spend any money.
Do you guys get annoyed when you see like someone trying to sell a Porsche on an ad? Like,
you hear something crazy? I'm going to say one more, and then we got Terry in the back, so we're going to talk to Terry.
All right, Terry.
Terry's got many questions he wants, but I saw this one coach guy, Guru, and he said he was making fun of gurus, and he said, why do coaches coach and spend their time coaching because they don't make enough money in their business? And like he was telling like good points, like we were saying, and he said that's why I train my coaches to coach you. It's only $4,000. I was unbelievable. I saw that.
Wait a minute. Is it a coach for the coaches?
No. It's another person. He's making fun of gurus and coaches and saying, if you coach real estate, you're not running a good enough business.
Yeah. And then
he says, well, because I don't do that. I hired coaches to do it who will coach you. and then they do like a $4,000 thing. It's crazy. It's unbelievable.
Probably pays them $1,000 and pockets $3,000.
And that's how it goes.
And
then they're like,
it's like the Tim Ferriss 4-hour work week.
And it's like, I've been wholesaling since 2007. I'm the great. This guy claimed to do 2,000 deals, 2,000 wholesaling deals.
Yeah, so you could break that down.
2,000.
I did do it 19 years.
Have you done 2,000 wholesaling deals?
Not quite.
2,000's insane.
2,000's that would be. That's like
it's
Wall
crazy
Street numbers.
And but I've been doing it for 14 years, so you can't really track that. 2,000's ridiculous.
And it's a paid ad too, right?
It's organic, but he paid a bunch of ads, or she. It's crazy. These people, these gurus are just testing me.
It's the guys that by the way, there's no barriers to entry for gurus right now.
It's crazy. I think I said this on Instagram. That's what I was taking.
And we're specifically talking about people that want to coach you that don't actively do the business. It makes no sense. And people go, well, what about a football coach? I go, okay, timeout. Less than 1%, probably 0.5% can actually play like professional football. So like the whole pro sports thing, it does not equate to wholesale. It does not even.
Well, the thing with athletes, right? They all retire at 35.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And listen, not every athlete's a coach, but like in wholesaling, honestly, I can do this till the day I die. I never have an excuse not to do it. And why wouldn't you want to do it? Because I can help as many people as possible. Listen, me and Zach talked about it. We talked about coaching. We just said, I've coached a few people, for full disclosure, over the years, but you can only help so many people on like one-on-one. So like group coaching. So we said, how can we help the most amount of people? And we came up with this crazy theory. Let's just show them everything we do, all our combined experience, and like no holds bar. And I hope you guys are enjoying it. Let me know.
I think
so. Freewholesaling.com, guys.
Freewholesaling.com.
It's the only one, and I promise you're going to see a bunch of imitators. Understanding we did it authentically.
I know. So let's pop some people on here. Let's talk.
Let's
try to help the people out here. Let's where's the brand thing? Hold on. We'll do this one today.
Guys, this is where I get lost in technology. So
Terry.
Hey, I wasn't expected to be the star of the show here.
You're the star. Let's go. How can we help you become a better wholesaler today?
Well, I just found you guys' site just a few months ago, and I've been watching your videos every night going back. You know what's amazing is you watching Zach, you can see him growing up through the year,
It's crazy.
Like a baby, then he's growing up into a young man. You can see that. So it's pretty cool. But I live here in Las Vegas, and I'm just trying to get started. I wanted to ask, would you focus on like text messaging and just blast those out and try to build up your business that way? Or would you do like cold calling, which is what I'm going to do? I'm going to sign up with the with that site that you guys have probably next week. But yeah, I just wanted to get just some basic information on that and see where to start.
Yeah, so in Vegas, it's a little more saturated. You have a lot of experience in Vegas.
But Vegas is a lot like South Florida.
Yeah,
it's actually, I think it'd be probably a little bit better in South Florida. South Florida's been an established market. I think Vegas, you got so much going on in Vegas. I like Vegas. Now, I haven't done business in Vegas, but it's Terry, right?
Terry.
Yes.
What? So I always tell people, do the marketing style that fits you.
Yeah.
I hate cold calling. It's like I'd rather hit my head. But this kid he's made hundreds of thousands of cold calls. So if you do something you truly hate, it won't work. So just kind of reverse engineer it type of deal. So like some people, I assume it's basically you, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you need to find the one-man army that's going to do the most damage for you, and don't overlook like some of the basic stuff, man. Like it's just a lot of networking, driving for dollars. Every market's so different. That's why I love doing this, because I can connect with people like all over the country. But you got to decide what rings the bell, and then the next step is after I do my third deal or my fourth deal. then you can take some money and apply it to some more, so you can scale some of your marketing. So I love inbound marketing because I don't feel like I don't have to chase people. But if I started out cold calling, oh my God, I would have owned the market, but I didn't. So, so what appeals to you most?
Well, I like that. Just watching from what you and Zach talk about, I like that PropStream. So I'm going to look into that here in the next couple of days. But I noticed that you guys were showing how to do vacant lots. And there's a lot of those around here. There's a lot of mobile home parks around here.
So the reality of mobile homes, like when you're starting off, unless you can pick them off one by one, my recommendation is not try to take down an entire mobile home park when you do it, because there's a lot of things that go into it, from, sanitation to utilities. And, but most mobile home parks are done with like creative financing, but traditional banks are very slow.
What about just the land that the
land's great
are setting on?
So what you have to do when you do land, you just have to be an expert in your local market, and you're going to have to reverse engineer and see what someone would pay for it. Because if you don't know what someone's going to pay for it, you have no idea what to make an offer on vacant land. And that's always be the challenge. So traditionally, when I started out doing it, I would go to builders, but they're really cheap. And I gave up on builders because they paid the least amount and they were the slowest. And then I found people that wanted to build their own homes, and they would typically pay me about 30% more. So once I sold 2 or 3 lots, I knew exactly what they would pay. So when I was doing it in Port St. Lucie, I knew the exact numbers. So it was like cheating. Once I did 2, and by the 3rd lot, I could do 10, 15 deals because I knew exactly what the market was demanding and what people were paying for it. So the vacant land is, to me, is kind of an easy one. You just need to study the use of the land. By the way, the PropStream is how long you been in Vegas for? How long you familiar with that area?
I've been here for about 6-7 years now.
Okay, so you should have a good layout of the land, so you know which way they're developing, which places have large lots of lands. And
yes, sir. I
gotta be honest with you, like, we use PropStream. It's a big part of our business. It makes it so easy. I get comps. You get 10,000 leads out of there. You can find vacant properties. It's so easy to assess the numbers. I would not run my business today without PropStream. And like, we love using it. In the old days, I had to go to like 9 different sites to get everything I did, and the time was brutal on it. So, with your subscription, not only can you do all the comping and everything, you get 10,000 leads with it per month, which
you're forgetting one thing too.
If you had to pay for it through ListSource, it's really expensive.
Also, though, you can do drawing for dollars. So I think if you do the counties around Las Vegas, this is something not a lot of people talk about. There's so much money in the counties surrounding it.
Yeah, obviously don't do the downtown area. But
no, not like Paradise or anything like that. But if you do, like, not the metros, but outside of it. So let me take Phoenix, Arizona. So everyone's in Phoenix, everyone's in Maricopa County, but there's people that they don't do deals in Phoenix. They do deals in like Glendale. Actually, Glendale might be a little too far. They do stuff in like, where is it? Apache Junction. Like they go outside that area, and that's where a lot of the deals are, not in the metro. So try to do, I would think, drawing for dollars around those areas. It's kind of the best of both worlds, where you can cold call, but you don't cold call that many. Cold calling 300 is not going to kill you, and they're a little more motivated. I would just try something, figure out what works, and then go all in on that thing. That's where I'm thinking.
Yeah. So
I don't know what's going to work. Well, you got to test it out.
Yeah. Once you find it out, then you can go like full throttle. But finding those areas where the population's pushing. I know Vegas is a very popular place to live right now. Weather, gambling, the whole 9 yards.
No taxes.
Is it no taxes?
It's 0 tax.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
no sales tax here.
Wow, no sales tax.
I'm not.
What are we doing in Florida?
Fishing.
But you're right, guys. Yeah, that's what I'm going to focus on. It was PropStream, getting motivated sellers and for sell by owners, and contact them, and then work on the text message blasting, and just try to I plug into you guys a lot. I left a lot of messages with you guys. I've been watching your videos the last few days, trying to catch up. And so I've left a lot of comments, and I can't thank you guys enough for what you guys do, because you're exactly right. There's so many gurus out there that I have talked to, and I've gone through their weekend thing, and at the end they throw that $10,000 on you, and if, you don't have that, they don't talk to you, they hang up on me. It's just,
you're worthless. Man.
Yeah, Terry, I've done all that pain for you. I've been to you name it, I've paid for it, and at the end of the day, I'm like, man, I not that I know everything, but there's not like a mastermind when so it used to be called a boot camp. Now they call it a mastermind. And I get irritated. Yeah, when someone takes you out to a fancy dinner on a boat, because basically you're paying for it anyways, right?
Yeah. And
wouldn't you rather do that with your own family? Exactly. When we talk, we get down to business, we show you what to do, every recommendation we give you, we use in our business. If it doesn't work on our business, forget it. I don't have time. If I don't believe in it, I'm not going to offer it. And the fact is, how much did you pay us, Terry?
Just my time, guys.
But you know what? And we really appreciate your time, because it's valuable to you. And that's it. We want to change how this business is, because I think it's ridiculous. For 20 plus years, wholesaling's been readily available. And would you agree there's no real secrets? It's just picking a strategy that works for you, that aligns with you. And don't forget this. Figure out your why while you're doing it, because it's got to be more than money. It has to be more than money.
Guys, that's what kept me going for over a year now, because I've got a strong why. I've got a daughter with 4 grandkids, and that's what keeps me going. But I guarantee if it was to somebody else that didn't have a strong why, they would have dropped out a long time ago, because trust me, I've thought about it many, many times.
Oh, yeah.
And then I start back up, and and then I get knocked down again, and then I start back up, and it's just frustrating. And these gurus, you don't pay them, they don't want nothing to do with you. And then you go through their whole weekend course, and then you take all these notes, put all this time. I think I got a bachelor's degree in YouTube videos.
Yeah.
It's just amazing the hours.
Take the information. You got to find the trusted sources, and then you have to take action, and you got to be accountable. And we tell everyone, take what you are going to spend on us and apply it towards marketing dollars. So if you think I'm worth 1,000 or 5,000, whatever it is, just get it going. Like I'm telling you, man, I made a decision 19 years ago, and that's why we're sitting here doing this. End of story.
Yeah, but Terry, the one thing I want you to know is you're in our diamond, platinum, whatever thing. You can come on here every week and talk to us. We're not going to shun you out. We want to help. So remember, for free, you just come on here every week. I'll talk to you. We want to help.
To be honest with you guys, I didn't think I was going to be on here today, because some of these other videos, Zoom calls, it's just you can see them, but they can't see you, and they don't hear you.
It was the best.
And I wasn't expecting to be on here at all. And then my face shows up, and go, oh my God!
I didn't know that. What do you mean you don't see them?
What do you mean?
They don't show their face?
No, they'll talk, but they won't talk to anyone in the Zoom. Remember I tell you they do the private Zooms?
Yeah. My favorite is the 15-minute phone call.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not getting that. But, hey, don't feel like you have to cram everything you want right now. I feel like when you're doing something like this, the best thing is always to get, just 2 tidbits. And then every week you get in and get 2 more tidbits. Because you're not going to absorb everything like crazy. I think you go in every week hey, like you're asking today, hey, what should I be doing? And then next is hey, Zach, what's kind of the script? This is what I'm using. Hey, the seller actually told me this. It kind of threw me off. What would you say in this situation? Every week, just something like that. That's it.
And how many videos we upload a day?
1 on Flip with Rick, 1 on Zach Ginn channel.
There you go.
It's crazy.
Thank you guys. Just God bless you guys. I appreciate you guys, what you do.
No worries.
It means a lot to me. Thank you so much.
Have a good one, man.
Have a good one.
Stay strong.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
You can hear something crazy?
What?
We got we had one person got their first deal closed from watching our videos the other day on the comments they put on.
That's awesome. And football season's starting too.
I know. College football starts tomorrow? Illinois and Nebraska's playing. UCLA's playing.
I'm excited.
It's crazy.
Man. I love football.
And that's why we're not leaving Florida.
Love football. It's just like wholesaling sometimes.
Oh, my gosh.
Smash some heads in.
All right. Ready? Okay. We got... What is up?
Oh, now what's up? What's up, man? How are you?
Doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. just a quick overview. I got like my first 3 deals watching you guys. And
Hey.
so hey,
Oh, God.
yeah. So I've been actually killing it down here in Fort Pierce now.
Oh,
But
nice.
my biggest thing now is I'm only 18, and seeing Zach's story really helped me a lot. So I kind of know a lot of things about the business model and whatnot. But my biggest thing now is, I'm focusing on my KPIs and just really trying to get that consistency down. I know like the more my main marketing tactic now is I do cold calling. So I will cold call probably like 500 people a day or whatnot.
That's awesome.
Pulling in some leads here and there, but I'm just trying to stay focused on getting consistent months and whatnot. So, I mean, that's really it. That's really my main focus. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I've been doing this for like 3 months now. My first deal was 10,000. So that was from watching you guys too. So that was, that was a blessing.
That's awesome.
Well, that's the good part. Like everything I say that works, it works right in Fort Pierce too.
And how long you been doing this for? Like
what?
How long?
3 months now. Like, yeah,
Hey.
3 months.
Yeah.
So I've been, trying to get it and whatnot. So it's definitely been a blessing though. So
awesome, man. How can I help you? What's up? How can I help?
So really just focusing, trying to stay on the consistent months. Like my marketing is consistent. Don't know if I need. I'm really focusing on 2 lists right now. I'm doing pre-foreclosures and I'm doing vacant properties. I mean, that's usually what works for me. I don't know if I should, because it's pretty, everybody's doing this in Fort Pierce, so it's pretty saturated, I would say. But I don't know if I need to expand outside of this market or just stay in this market and try new things. I'm just trying to see on what should I do, like pertaining that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of saturated. I think it's crazy. I remember a year ago, I did that. Remember that crazy deal? It was like kind of by Midway Road. It's in between Fort Pierce and Port St. Lucie. I remember going on the deal. I did a recording of it, and I remember there was the sellers getting 6 cold calls a day. It was in Fort Pierce.
Yeah.
6 cold calls a day from people only from Fort Pierce. It was crazy. It's insane.
Dude,
and they're all cold calling.
And it's crazy.
It's nuts. But the thing is, we got that deal from cold calling, and it's all about just taking that action. I mean, cold calling will get you a certain amount of deals, but if you want to get consistent, you got to start peppering other strategies. So you got to look at it. You can be like, don't do bandit signs at Port St. Lucie. Please don't do that. You'll literally get in handcuffs. Yeah, Fort Pierce should be good.
Top chases you down.
Yeah. So I would probably, marketing wise, I would up the marketing on. You can try the government list. Everyone watches us in Fort Pierce, so they're all doing the same thing. I would say driving for dollars is probably the next frontier for you in Fort Pierce.
Let me tell you, driving for dollars made me.
Yeah,
for 3 years.
You got to be careful in Fort Pierce. Like there's certain streets in Fort Pierce. You go driving for dollars, you're gonna get like, oh, look at all these leads. It's so you got to get in little nice areas.
Yeah,
we have a name. What's his name?
What's your name? It says Millionaire Dropout.
Yeah.
What do you go by?
Brandon. My name is Brandon.
Okay.
Brandon.
So Brandon, let me tell you what. My grandma retired to Fort Pierce in the early 70s.
Oh, wow.
And so I've known Fort Pierce like my entire life. It's a really cool city. If you guys don't know about it, it's over there by the water. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful over
and
there.
I got to tell you, man, it's driving for dollars. It's like a dream. So here's the thing is you can consider stretching out your reach, but always. So how long you been in Fort Pierce? You've been there your whole life, or?
Yeah, my whole life. This is all I know.
You know everybody. Okay.
Yeah.
Always understand you will always have a huge advantage. One of the biggest thing when you talk about saturation, our biggest saturation are people doing the virtual market. And that's fine. I don't care how many people come to my market. I know these properties better than anyone. So another part of your game is upping up your ability to talk to people. And as you get better, you get more confidence. Zach knows there's not one objection I cannot overcome. Like when anybody on my team struggles with it, I'm like, throw me in the car. Let's go talk to them. And we just talk and break it down. And then you just start going, hey, you remember as a kid, I grew up, I went over to this park and I did this. And I went over to, I'd go over the Seaway Drive Bridge and I would do this. And then always stay it. Like pretend Fort Pierce is going to be Miami one day.
Yeah.
And just when you have those roots, it pays off huge. So I did a deal in Fort Pierce. I wasn't mature enough when I was younger during the low market. I had a deal come across my deal. It was a short sale deal, a $2 million mortgage. And it was down there by the water.
It was on Indian Drive.
Indian River Drive.
St. Lucie Village.
That really nice. That drive.
10,000 square feet. It was 110 years old.
Oh my gosh.
They put in a brand new 250-foot dock, and a famous family owned it in Fort Pierce. I'm not going to say their name because I'll probably get in trouble. I bought it for, I had to partner up with basically a hard money guy at the time. I made a lot of mistakes, but I bought it for $305,000, and I couldn't figure out how to hold the property. The property has since then sold for multiple millions of dollars.
Oh man.
Yeah, I do. And I didn't figure out like how to put it together. And it was all from my connections. A realtor reached out to me like, man, we're struggling selling this property. Now this was back when the market was really melting. But man, if I align my strategy, like I've been to Fort Pierce. There's people who know everybody on that street. And just to let you know how long I've been doing it, I flipped the same property multiple times on multiple different occasions. That's how often it comes across, because you'll find some of those properties they flip. And if you've done it long enough and you stayed in contact, they're like, hey, hey, Brandon, I can't deal with this property. Can you help me out? And they call you back. Kind of like how a realtor resells a property. Yeah. I love Fort Pierce. First of all, always fish in your backyard is what I say. Never leave it. Nobody knows it better. So when it's between you and a virtual guy or gal, you'll crush them every time.
It's easy.
Every time. Because we have that connection. I'm sorry, you talk on the phone? I'll be there in 5 minutes. That's why I say every time. How many people are we competing with virtually? It's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
And I'm all for virtual. Like I'm all about the hustle. But like if you want to compete with me locally, I'll crush you every time. I'll crush you like a bug.
There's plenty of deals for everyone. Like how many six-figure wholesalers in St. Lucie? There's probably like 50 that are making clearing hundreds of thousands a year. Like there's plenty of deals everywhere. But I would say since everyone in Fort Pierce is driving around, drive for dollars. It's the one thing people aren't doing. The one thing I could tell you right now is if you just drive around, you just see a trashed house. I would look up who's the owner really quick, because some of these trashed houses are owned by like banks and trusts, especially in Fort Pierce. So be careful, because you're like, oh my God, this is the best deal ever. I used to do this, going on a deal like, oh my God, amazing deal. It says Deutsche Bank owns it. I'm like, oh, the worst.
But here's another one you can have, being so local and so close, working with the city of Fort Pierce, although I know they're probably a lot tighter on their code violation list, but they're brutal though on their like codes. Like they don't want to negotiate on anything.
They don't like to give up anything. Really,
they don't like to give up anything. It's when you go to other towns, they're like, hey, help us out. So, but you can still kind of work with them. There's a lot of Fort Pierce is just. It's just a really neat city. I've known it for 40 some odd plus years of my life, and it's just gone through a lot of like ups and downs and changes and stuff like that. But now the values are starting to come back up, as you know. Just to give you an idea, in 2010, I bought a sixplex for $6,000. That's how bad it was.
Wow, that's
and Brandon, I'm telling you what.
That's
you
insane.
Say you're only 18. This kid started at 17, and I would do anything to trade shoes. Like I'm not talking, I wouldn't get with my family or anything, but man, time is more valuable than money, buddy. And you are on to it right now. You are going to go through we're going to have a market. Something's going to give in the market. You're going to be impressed. So you might be, I don't know, might be next year, might be in a couple years. It'll be absolutely amazing because you'll get through the entire learning curve of everything with it. And you'll be ready to pounce when you do it. I was so buried in duplexes in Fort Pierce for 4 years. I was just giving them away. I buy them for 10,000. I'd sell it for 20, and I do it over and over. And it was just fun. I got chased by a lot of dogs. I got a lot of bugs, but it's sixplex for $6,000.
Yeah. But that's what I can say. It really break it down. So you want to expand it, consistent, drive for dollars consistently. Start cold calling that. You start getting deals that other wholesalers aren't. Still do the list you're doing. Number two, I can tell you right now is just buy assets and just stay humble, man. Don't go out there buy the liabilities assets. I'm telling you, that would change your life. True. You want to change your life right now. You put that money, you should probably reinvest in your business. But once you sit getting some more deals coming and buy a couple of rental properties, it will. You don't. I'm at the point now. I don't have to wholesale.
But
I can just quit.
But buy local, so you. I always tell people,
Man,
let me tell you, trying to own a rental property 50, 70 miles away, it's brutal.
It's tough.
I gave up. I couldn't do it.
And the next thing I could tell you right now is you have to start working on the cash buyers because the market shifts. You're going to need these cash buyers. And another thing I want to tell you, I think you know this, especially in Fort Pierce, there's a lot of shady people out there. Shady. Crazy, so everyone's assume everyone's trying to screw you. Even me. I'm not trying to, but just assume everyone's trying to screw you because every wholesaler in Fort Pierce is trying to screw you. They will tell you, they're like, hey, that Brandon guy, he went to jail for like assault. Like they'll make up crazy stuff. Just be careful with competition. They're crazy. Remember that one deal I had? The one lady from West Palm that was trying to steal my deal up there. She was saying all these crazy things about me, how I've never bought in a house in my life. And I had like,
she's brutal.
Needs that month.
Yeah. And the competitive advantage for Fort Pierce is because the house is, there's a lot of older houses. There's some newer. So these virtual guys come in and go, I'll pay you $100,000 for it. I'm like,
you're
good luck with that, buddy. Like, you don't do you understand what neighborhood it's in, what's going on? Because there's a lot of properties 60 years or older, and there's a lot of issues. And if you don't understand them, you're going to get killed on the contract. So we have a lot of virtual guys that fall out, and we just spread the word with other one.
What's the quarter rule that you always have with houses, especially in Fort Pierce?
If you can, most of them are framed, but if you can stick a quarter in the crack, don't buy it.
Yeah, on the foundation.
Yeah, or if you can't open the door, I learned the hard. I bought so many houses I had to give away with it, but. See, that's the really unique part, Brandon, is like people from outside the town, they don't understand it. And remember, we have hurricanes, and it's every time we have a major hurricane, it's 3 years of bliss for wholesaling.
Man, we have a hurricane like every year. It's crazy.
No, I know, but you need one that hits you. So our last big strike was 0405. And I bought so many properties for 3 years after that. I was buried. And I didn't even do Fort Pierce. I couldn't even, I just solely did Port St. Lucie, but I think you're on the right track. Just keep educating yourself. And what got you into wholesaling? Like, what was the draw?
You know what's so crazy? I didn't really want to graduate high school because I just knew it was another way. So I stopped going to school for like 3 months. I mean, a lot of people would call you crazy for doing so. Like the teachers, the students, they just couldn't understand me. But my mind is always thinking it, and my mind is always moving. So I just got on YouTube one day and was like, quick ways to make money as a teen.
Yeah.
I tell you, no joke, Zach Ginn came up, seen this thing about wholesaling. It was just so crazy. It intrigued me so much. So I'm just like, man, I got to learn this. I want to get this first deal. Calling. I mean, I'm calling thousands of people. It's insane. And then, you just want to give up because you don't got that first deal yet. And then you just keep calling, end up getting a property on the contract. And man, it's so crazy because everything that I ever needed to learn about the business was on you guys' channel. Like, how to find cash buyers, how to find motivated sellers.
And Brandon, how much did you pay us?
Not a penny. And that's
the best part, man.
That's it.
Yeah. So
guys, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
In the future or something, like Brandon's going to get a lease option deal ready. Yeah. And he's going to be like, what do I do? And like, he'll DM me and we'll split the deal and he'll probably cash flow $1,000 for the rest of his life. Like, it's just the connections you can make while doing this business.
I could go on hours.
That's the thing.
Can do in Fort Pierce.
It's just like, why we do it is we build connections that make us way more.
The last one is there's 2 auction companies in Fort Pierce.
Oh gosh.
And they do Saturday auctions.
Jameson.
Oh my God. You get to know everybody. You get years up. You need to go to those things because they're Saturday morning, and they do have a reputation. They do sell a lot of low-end troubled properties, and it's funny. I did one back in 2010. I used to the market was so bad they used to call me before they even put it on auction. Like, Rick, will you just buy it? I'm like, oh my God. I go, are you kidding me? Now I took Zach there once as a teachable moment. How long ago was that?
That was a while ago.
It was It was crazy.
Yeah, that was like
it was
2.5
to a
years
property
ago.
that I bought. I told you, I go
remember
these
that
multiple ones. I go,
Yeah.
son, I bought this one. He goes, how much you paid? I got paid $33,000. The dang thing sold like in the mid twos.
Yeah,
That was a
crazy.
four. It was a fourplex, but it was rough, man.
Yeah.
And it was all.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how Section 8 works in Fort Pierce. It's a different world. It's like crazy. You go from one county to the next. So, the reason go to those auctions is not really to buy it; it's just to get to know everybody in the town. And
man.
so I went to an auction once that was next to a property I owned. I wrote down everyone's phone number, and then I sold my property an hour later. So it was like I learned a nice little trick there. So the old days, we used to go to the courthouse in Fort Pierce. I had a lot of fun with that, but they don't do that anymore. It's all online. So you're on the right track, man. Just
keep it up.
Just keep doing it, man.
Hey, man, I really appreciate you guys, man. You guys taught me everything.
Yeah, we got to connect. We're pretty close. So
oh yeah, man.
yeah, we're pretty close up. But
okay,
you guys take it easy, man. God bless you. Thank you for everything.
God bless.
Keep it up, Brandon. Good job.
Woo! That's awesome.
Local show now, huh?
I love it, man.
But
that's
you're not
great.
supposed to teach people in your local market. That's bad for my business.
I'm telling you, like people like that, they'll send us lease option deals, creative stuff, and we'll make $1,000 for the rest of their life.
You know, you help them out, and then plus they get the profit off it as well too. That's
literally changed that guy's life. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. 3 deals.
Do you think that guy had 10 grand?
It doesn't matter your
It's
education
crazy.
level. It's how much action you're willing to take.
It's so nuts. This business is crazy. So let's see what else we got. Got a dog.
Oh my gosh. Should I go get my dog?
No, he's too big.
My dog
Hey,
just
Rick.
barks
Hey,
too much.
Zach.
How's it going? How can we help you become a better
Good, how are
wholesaler
you?
today? Doing great. I'm blessed.
Awesome. Where are you at?
I'm in Connecticut.
Okay.
So it's a hard market.
Is it snowing yet?
No.
I don't know. I'm a Florida guy. I don't know.
It's August. Okay.
You know what? It's like the hottest day of the year, actually, here.
Oh, really?
I feel like 100 today.
Ooh.
Thanks.
You got air conditioning?
Yeah. No. I just moved into my place.
Oh my
so
gosh.
I haven't got that yet.
Oh my gosh.
But,
okay.
So I've been investing for about 7 months now. I'm still waiting on my first deal. I'm working really hard on it. And I guess my biggest trouble, I started in my market in Connecticut, and my biggest trouble is like a lot of sellers here want more than retail. So
More than retail.
Yeah.
Subject to.
I've been getting offers for like what, 500,000, 1 million a couple of times. And those.
So how long you been in Connecticut for?
Oh, my whole life.
Your whole life. So you're okay.
Yeah. So I do know the state pretty well. It's
okay. And what's like the median price of a house around you? Just to guess, so I get an idea.
I want to say 200K.
That's not
150, 200.
I mean, that's reasonable. That's very reasonable. So
yeah.
So let me ask you this. I'm going to put you a little bit on the spot here to try to help you out. Okay. It's not to embarrass you or do anything. You said the word, I believe she said trying. Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me what exactly you're doing. Like what's your method for finding motivated sellers and your activity level? And let's see if we can help you out here.
Well, I first started getting a Google course. So when I went through the program, I did learn a few things about wholesaling from the course. And I just wanted to mention that like I wouldn't get this interaction with them. They the closest I got to the guru is through Voxer. So it's like a little chat, kind of like a WeChat or something.
Okay. So
and, you just send messages. So I didn't actually get his phone number and get in touch with him directly, which I needed to a few times talking to sellers. And so it's nice talking to successful wholesalers in this industry face to face. So through video interaction. So which I never got from him, and I paid for his course. So
gosh. So let's move past that. You know where we stand on that stuff. So
yeah.
Tell us what marketing methods you're doing and what kind of activity levels you have. Like give me your daily or weekly routine.
So I actually don't cold call right now. The only reason why, I did at the start,
Okay.
and yeah, so I did work on it. The only thing is, I work at Amazon right now, 40, 60 hours a week
Wow.
sometimes. So it's a
Driver or at
lot
the
of
warehouse?
hours at a warehouse.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so and then I come home tired. I sleep for like what, 8 hours, 7 hours. So I don't have a lot of time in my hands. So that is the only reason why I don't cold call, is because I don't have time. So I do have a VA I work with. She's in the Philippines, and she's great at what she does. She knows the real estate side of things, and she knows how to cold call, and she's been doing it for a while. So I'm thankful she actually found me. So through another investing group, and she got in touch with me, and so I'm thankful she got in touch. And I've been working with her for about a month and a half now, and she got me a few leads. And she's actually a better cold caller than me. So that's how I get my leads right now. It's through cold calling.
Okay. And how many calls is she making on average per week or per month?
So I pull a list weekly of like what, 300, 400, because that brings me to about what, 60, $80 for the skip tracing a week,
Hmm.
which is what I can budget right now. And
Okay.
then I still had to pay her so every week. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay. You want me to go with this, or you want to go?
What list are you pulling?
Vacant lists. And then I tried like with the water lean on PropStream, but I couldn't find anything uh, when I checked off
Did you call the
thing.
utility company?
No, I haven't. It's
Call them.
pretty hard to find that
What's
information.
what's your county?
New Haven.
New Haven.
Yeah.
Talk to her really quick.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I'm fine with you having a VA, but honestly, and so I assume you're using because of your time. So
Yep.
here's the good news: is you obviously you have obligations. That's probably why you're working, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So I've always told people don't quit your day job, which that's how I started out doing. I worked a 80-hour a week job, do it. But here's the deal. I'm going to tell you, you're still going to like, what's your weekends look like?
I get 3 days off. Sometimes, well, if I don't work overtime, I get 3 days off. But if I do take that overtime day, then I work, and then I have 2 days free. So
Okay. And how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 28.
Okay. So you're really young. You have nothing but time on your hand. And here's the beauty. I tell everybody that you get 24 hours in a day. You decide what you got to sleep. But so you're probably working 8, 10-hour days minimum?
10 to 12.
10 to 12. Okay.
Yeah, and it's physical work, so it's I gotta sleep on that one day, that
Okay.
one free day.
How long have you been on that job for?
Six. I would say 5 months now.
Okay. And I assume you do that job because it just pays the bills, correct?
Yep, it pays the bills. It pays for the marketing for this
Okay.
business.
So my next question is, what's your why? I mean, why do you want to do wholesaling? Like, what's your reason
For
for
dog.
it? I love that
Yes,
dog.
to take care of my dog. Also, my dad actually passed away early this year,
Oh, wow.
so
Sorry to hear.
it was very tragic for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I just want to do it all for him, to like just prove to myself and prove to, um, I guess, yeah, yeah, prove to myself that I can do this and just make him proud, even though he's gone. And I just want to do it all for him. And his, I don't want to get like too deep on it,
Yeah.
but his last words to me were, "Are you okay?" So that just means that like he just wants me to take care of myself and to be well. in a good place after he's gone. So that's my why. And
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that's it. So the first thing everybody starts out, you got to have a really strong why, because this is like real work. You got to work it. So you're working a full-time job. Hopefully you've set a deadline to go, okay, by this time, I want to be here, and I'll take the money when I get this X amount of money, then I can leave my job and transition to what I'm doing. But you really have to be like adamant about it. Because when Zach talks to you about like pulling a list, you're like, well, it's hard.
Well, right here, let me show you. So if I go here, literally, like this is what I did. I just went New Haven Utilities, phone number's right there. Did you call this number?
No, I haven't.
That's how simple it is. You just search it on Google.
Yeah, and you like
boom.
So the other thing you told me, your VA found you.
Yeah, through another Facebook investing group.
They're hunters. You know how many I block out of our Facebook group?
So just keep this in mind with the VA, because you're still like new to this. So you're still trying to understanding. You can't have the VA running the show. Like you can't having them like, you say they're good, but you don't have a deal. So like you have to look at your data and go, if I don't get a deal, like you got to put pressure back on them. If I don't get a deal like in the next 30 days, I can't pay you anymore. Like end of story.
Yeah.
And you need to be giving her all those phone calls, the code violations. She needs to get you the tax delinquencies,
fire damage properties.
Like she's got to bury you with so many leads, and then you can decide what you want to skip trace and go back to them. So don't ever buy into the word an experienced VA, because here's my opinion. If there was such a great experienced VA, they'd still be working for that investor because they buried him in so many leads. So I've hired a lot of bad VAs. I'm going to tell you, I've had VAs try to tell me how to run my business. Yeah. You run the show. It's your money. You've got to get action and deadlines, and you got to manage that, his or her KPIs. How many calls you made? How many connections did you do? How many appointments did you set? How many new lead sources do you find me? Finding a VA that'll go out and just hunt for you, like just like Zach showed you that 2-minute thing.
2 minutes, 2 seconds.
2 seconds. You need to find like 30 other ways for them to go find deals for you.
Okay.
Like I saw somebody doing driving for dollars, like virtually on a computer. It was amazing.
You can do that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little bit challenging, but I'm just, they've got to go to endless lengths. So do you have the tax delinquency list? Yes or no?
Just some PropStream that I pull.
Okay. Have you tried a code violations list in your area?
Code violations? Yeah, I do have a number. I just need to call it.
Okay.
Call them.
You have a VA you're paying. Like I'm telling you, you're going to have to really up your activity.
That's the ones that make it. It's the action. Are you going to take the action or not?
So you can dabble, but the dabble's just going to stretch this timeline out forever. So like,
we're not telling you quit your job, but take action.
Yes.
Take action, because you want to bridge that gap. And it's like, listen, a year goes by like that, as you know. Mm-hmm. And you have to. So what you have to do is break it down.
You had a full-time job by doing wholesale.
Terrible.
So
like
but you know how to do it. You know how to transition.
Yeah. So you got to like put everything into it. I'm not telling you. So sometimes you got to sleep a little bit less, and your 3 days off, you got to go like all in. The idea is when you have 3 days off, you should be trying to meet as many people as you physically can. So when you're newer, it's much easier to close people in person. A lot of people will tell you they can close people virtually. It's a little bit of a pipe dream to a point. I mean, I guess you can close anyone virtually. You're probably not going to get a great contract price because you can't see the property. So just like how Zach's showing you, I'm showing you, you gotta have that enthusiasm, and especially in the beginning, because you're going from 0 and you're trying to get to 100. I'm just trying to get you to like 1, 2. I'm telling you right now, if you can, what's your name? I didn't see it there. What's your name?
Kalia.
It's a pretty name.
Thank you.
If you can get that one deal, your confidence will shoot through the roof. You'll make your father super proud of you. And then everybody in your family is going to like, I knew that girl had something, man. So you're on the right track. So go, like you've already committed, go all the way in. You already have a VA. Have that VA like either they're going to produce for you, you're going to go find someone else and go, okay, this is what I learned from this VA. A VA, you got to have a checklist. You got to do this, this, and this. It's all about marketing activity. And if you're not getting enough leads, you need to change them. And you don't have to have a VA. But if you're going to hire a VA, and this goes for anybody listening to it, make sure they are just going crazy on the marketing activity.
Yeah.
So if they're such, and especially if they tell you their experience, like bury me in leads. Can you get me 500 leads by the end of today?
Yeah.
And just go from there. And you don't have to skip trace like every lead. I mean, however you need to do it. Like, and then pick a day for driving for dollars and just like go get them. My best deals, I pull up, I go, well, there's a blue tarp on this roof. How much did we pay to get this deal? We drove by it like 6 times.
Yeah.
If someone just went up, knocked on the door, they would have easily got that deal all the time. So you're young, you have great energy, you have a great smile. Just keep learning, keep watching the videos, but like go all in, man. Like just bury your marketing till you churn blue.
That's it.
I just found out Batch has a driving for dollars app called Batch Driven. So I'm thinking of teaching my VA that.
Well, don't you have PropStream?
Yeah.
You can do that too in there.
What's
Actually,
that?
no. Do they have the Google Map? You can do it in the Batch one too.
Listen, I just write it down on a yellow piece of pad. So like, and let me tell you, whenever we were suffering with leads, we just get in the car and go. And you can produce hundreds of leads driving for dollars.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of gas. And let's face it, you're going to go out and run errands anyways, right?
Yeah, but I would say the money for that driving for dollars apps is probably best spent skip tracing instead and just pulling a bigger list.
Yeah.
And then having the VA cold call more.
Okay, bigger
get them on a dialer. That's what I would say.
Do you track how many calls your VA makes and like their success rate?
I usually pull every week like 300, 400 lead contacts, and then she brings me what I think 3 leads a week from those.
A week?
Yeah.
How long is she? How much is she cold calling?
So like 4 hours, 4 days a week. So which is
3?
what I can budget right now.
You should be getting 2 a day, especially at 4 hours.
Yeah, you listen. I'm telling you, like
you should be pulling 3 to 4 at 5 hours a day.
I'm always alarmed when a VA tells you how experienced they are.
I think you need to do a couple things. Number one, is she using a dialer?
Yes, Batch.
Okay, well, you need to be having Batch you can record, and I need you to record her phone conversations. And also do me a favor. I want to put your phone number in the middle of that. And so she's going to randomly cold call you one of them, and you're just going to see the pitch. And I remember once we did the VA that I hired in college. I was so upset. I was paying a bunch of money. I put my phone number in there. I actually was walking through a class, and it was calling and said, it was a rooster in the background, just screaming. There's a baby. Said, do you want to sell your house? That was all they said. I was like, fired. Like you got to be doing quality control.
I think she's pretty. I did listen to her recordings, and she's pretty good.
Do it.
She.
If they know they're being recorded, the quality will be up. I promise you.
Yeah, but at some point she has to produce for you.
They work for you, not the other way around.
Yeah, you got to kind of. There's no way. It just by pure fault. But the amount of not that the numbers are huge, but you should have a deal by now with your eyes shut.
Yeah.
So something is missing. So look at just increase your marketing activity, just what we kind of showed you, just little examples, and then just let her know, like, listen, I'm having a good time here, but like if we don't get some deals soon, I got to move on.
Yeah.
Or just tell her, like, maybe I'm bringing in another VA just to try to rotate it to see who gets better traction.
Okay. All right.
Just ideas like that. But you got to have, when you pay somebody, and really, guys, I always tell you, do everything you can yourself, but she has a job, so she's going to do it. But everything the VA does has to be per your instruction, not their previous experience. You have no idea where they came from. They're not working for somebody else. Then make sure they don't have 1,000 other jobs going on. By the way, I hope there's no VAs on here. They're known for stealing like information, taking your information and giving it like to other people all the time.
We have a lot of VAs watching us, actually. They're training.
Yeah, they're training. Like what's that? But listen, a good VA, they're looking for direction, and most of them want to work well for you. But if you're going to give them the lead, then you're kind of accountable for that. So I'd carefully look back to see what policies you've implemented and strategies versus the VA, and that might give you a little more clarification. And sometimes you just got to reset and start over. Go, okay, that's it. I've made this mistake. I've let VAs run wild. I'm like, oh my God, like what happened?
Yeah.
They're only going to do what you tell them to do. They
Yeah,
can't
good
get in
thing
your
is
head.
she's been very transparent with me. So, and then did listen to her recordings, and
Yeah.
it's pretty good. I gave her Brett Daniels' script, which is excellent. I think he has a really good script, and it goes through the 4 pillars of wholesaling. So,
Yeah.
Cool.
and that's what
Here's the
it's really
problem.
about.
Everyone uses that script.
Everyone uses
What's
that
the
script.
difference?
Everybody knows it. And remember, Brett Daniel, I believe
He's a great dude, though.
he's a good dude, but I believe he teaches, he preaches paying people $15 to $20 an hour in the States. So that's some of the stuff like you're competing with. I don't know how that translates to
We
a
found
VA.
more success just going for the yeses and transferring that from the acquisitions over. What happens when someone's a qualified seller? What happens with that lead?
She puts on PropStream, and then I just call them.
You call them. Okay.
Yeah.
And what's your conversation with them once they're qualified?
I try to make a good connection with them, which is what you guys recommend, which is great. And then I just go over the condition in the house and everything like that, and then why they're selling it, and then the offer, their offer first, and then
Okay.
I do some research beforehand.
Okay, but what do you do after? Everything's good. What are you doing? Are you meeting them at the property? What's the next step?
Well, if they say they want a higher offer than what I thought it would be, then I just don't do anything that lead. And then
How many appointments have you been on the past month?
None.
That's okay. I want to give you a quick story. I think was it my 4th deal ever. I talked to the seller. They wanted 150 grand for it. And it was not worth 100. It was worth 100 to a cash buyer. They want 150. I went there, built rapport, and literally that seller. I remember I was 17. You had to go there with me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, we said, really, we can't do 150. How much do you really want to sell this thing for? Remember they said this. They said 90. We didn't say a word. They said 80, 70, and then the other person's like, stop. We got on a contract for 70 and sold it, made 30K. Yeah. Like, if you're just like, oh, on the phone, they talk big game. When you're in person, they know you're serious.
And if you have the right list, you're targeting the right people.
Go in person.
And then when you go to a house and you go, boy, all of a sudden, like their confidence level and their number, it evaporates. Listen, you guys think that motivated sellers just a VA go, hey, I'm motivated, send me over to the other person, you close it virtually. It's a pipe dream. It really sells a lot of courses. Yeah. But I'm just telling you, like, we just look for the slightest motivation and we go, I could care less. I care to a point what price they give me.
It's more about their motivation, their time frame. We go into this market's so crazy. We go into all the appointments because I still think, let's say you don't get the deal, at least you've walked through an appointment. Like, how many appointments have you been through right now?
In the 7 months I've started, I want to say 5.
You gotta pump those up. Like, that's less than 1 a month. Just for you to know the walkthrough of an appointment, just to get comfortable with it.
Yeah,
I think that'll help you a lot.
Yeah, I've been doing virtually right now because I've been so frustrated.
You're doing virtual appointments. How many physical appointments have you been on?
Well, since I started, like 5.
5. So you've been doing virtual appointments.
Yes. Recently.
You gotta do them physically. If you're desperate to get a deal, you gotta go in person if that's your own market. Now you're trying to do like Kansas City, fine, do it virtually. Yeah. At that point, why are you even in your own market if you're not going to go in person?
Yeah,
right?
If you're going to go virtual, go. I mean, everyone thinks the grass is greener on the other side. That's why everybody comes to like my backyard. We dominate because we know the market, we know how to connect with people, and I can't even tell you how many thousands of appointments I've been on and how many he's been on. We have such a high confidence level, and it shows in every deal
because we know exactly how the appointment's going to go. We've been through it a million times. Yeah. That's when you're not confident. Like, let's say you get that deal, you're not going to be confident. You haven't been on enough appointments where you're just not comfortable going through the entire process. That's why going through so many, it's like, hey, it's just another appointment. What's the worst that's going to happen? I've been through it, and then work on the close. right? Like it's
you learn on it. And either I say the property is going to be motivated, which you can't tell unless you go there. Like they can tell you whatever here. Now you can identify the motivated
we had another deal.
sellers.
The guy who said he needed a little bit of work.
Yeah.
Guy went on it. It was a hoarder's house.
It's hoarder's
house.
Code for 70 grand in Florida.
Yeah, we didn't know. It was a hoarder's house. The thing was stacked up.
You can't tell. Like
you got to go in person.
The advantage of being local is go out and you'll learn so much when you do appointments, even when you don't get a deal.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, you need much more activity. Otherwise, I'm going to be honest with you, you got a hobby going on. I'm just telling you honestly.
There's just some stuff you got to change.
I'm telling you truthfully. These courses are super sexy and they give you scripts but like at the end of the day, all you are is connecting with people like we're connecting right now. I don't really know you, but I've gotten to know you in the 10 minutes we're talking. And the more I talk to you, I get more information. And here's the difference. 70% of our conversation is about physiology.
Yes, physiology.
I can tell by your reaction. I can tell when you get emotional. I can tell you when you're excited. I can tell when you get scared. I can't do this over the phone. Gurus won't tell you this.
Yeah. Guys,
and then what you lack in experience when you go see someone physically, you can bring the enthusiasm, the excitement. And I've had people when I'm telling I didn't know a dang thing about real estate. You know what they said? They go, I just like you. There's something about you I like.
You're not fake.
It's not fake. All I did was use rapport.
You're not fake. That's
around
the thing.
That's it. I'm real.
These YouTubers, oh my gosh, they're so fake.
Yeah.
Like
do you see my jacket? It's a nice jacket. I don't wear a jacket. You know why? Because
the suit jacket.
I had to wear a monkey suit for 11 years in the company I worked for. I hated every minute of it. And I had to like clean cars in a suit in South Florida in August. It was terrible. It's like,
but you just got to be authentic to yourself and go on more appointments.
Just connect with people.
That's what I can say. And guess what? When you're driving to these appointments, guess what you're going to be driving around? You're going to be driving around more houses. Can I tell you how many deals I've gotten driving to appointments, just randomly seeing a crazy house with the grass like this?
That's when you stop the car, get out, and like, okay, I'm going to knock
that's
on the
it.
door.
So I'm just saying, I don't think there's any
motivated sellers aren't just going to call you and go, hey, Kalia,
I don't see anything but upside by doing it. That's what I said.
90% of the information we get. So you guys using VAs, just simple qualification. Like, don't let them sell anything. Just give me some sort of sign and like, hey, you're willing to, talk to us and move on. And then it's you. It has to be like, now you can do the conversation on the phone with them and you decide when you're going to appointment.
And even if the deal's not motivated, just talk to as many people as you can. Just get comfortable talking. That's all I can tell you. But go out there and start changing things.
Yeah, I didn't know how to measure my activity level, so I didn't know if it was too low or too high. So
gotta pump those numbers up.
Way too low.
Wolf of Wall Street. Gotta pump those numbers up.
Yeah, I didn't know.
We're not going Wolf of Wall Street folks today.
Yeah, thank you for being so honest.
So just set your bar higher and start with like your VA. I'm sure she's a very good person. She's just a VA can never ever run the ship ever. They have to go, okay, this is one. So right now you should, when you get off here and you're done with the live stream, find 10 ways for her to get deals and just give her direction. So when you're at work, she's filling the pipeline and you can figure out like what to do there. And you know what? She calls 10 places. If she gets three out of the 10, you're further ahead than before this phone conversation.
Exactly.
So it's, remember, motivated sellers we're all people. We all connect. And when you connect, it's much easier. How do you feel like when somebody sells you something on the phone, you're like, get off, you're annoying the crap out of me. You just need to I like to use the VA to get a little bit of penetration if I have the right list. And then I'm going to send someone to go talk to them. And we're going to sprinkle our magic on them and just go, man, you guys are a lot nicer than I thought you were. And that's it. Boom. So activity up.
How many contacts is a good list to pull? Like what's a number? What's a good number? Like
what are you willing to go up to?
Yeah, it depends on the list. Like 1,000 probates, you will get a deal, but you get 1,000 high equity or vacants, you're not. It's different. It depends on the list. Fire damage, I rather you get very motivated lists since your budget's very tight. Very motivated lists. Water shutoffs, just search and then go. Code enforcement, fire damage property. Just keep it at those and then maybe get into probates if you got more time.
Code violations.
Work on it.
Delinquencies.
That's it. Like we can talk about this forever, but just go out there and take action.
You got to go. You just ramp it up and just keep tuning in. We'll help you out as much as we can. And just it's on you to do it. So lead the ship first of all, and then find a way to increase your activity Like,
Yeah.
expand your mind, like as many. So if you're not getting it with 300, you got to find a way to get at least triple it at my point.
Yeah.
And then you can dial it in.
I actually do have, I called a seller yesterday and he's selling his land for $2,500. It's in Memphis. And so he's about to sign the contract, hopefully soon.
Okay.
I'm going to call him tomorrow about it. So
why not today?
It's a little too late right now. I was sleeping all day.
It's 5:43 there, not 6:43 now. Remember, they're on CST.
It's a vacant land, so he lives in DC.
Oh, he lives in DC? Oh,
yeah,
never mind then. You're good.
So definitely tomorrow I'll call him.
It's Eastern, 6:43.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever, Friday night. So it's just like you've much higher activity. You got to get out of the hobby. And if you want to get into the business and you want to transition from that job, concentrate on your why, write it on your bathroom mirror, focus on it every day. It's not to get you emotional. It's just to get you fired up. Like, why do I do this?
Yeah.
And if you know your why, ain't nothing going to stop you.
No.
Okay. You got it. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Oh yeah. I know it's out there. So I know I can see it. It's just taking action. So.
Boom.
Okay. And then dig all the way through the free wholesaling.com course. Cause I put I'm giving you 19 years. I'm not giving you some like 1 year, a kid just did 5 deals and he's going to sell you a course type of deal. It's there. And how much should I charge you?
Zero.
Okay. So put in the time and go.
All right. You got it. Thank you so much, guys.
Okay.
Thanks. Have a blessed one.
See you.
All right. Let's get another one out over here. Isaiah,
how you doing?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. I just had a few questions.
Let's get it.
So I'm working on these 2 apartment buildings, and for one, I don't even know how I'm supposed to accurately send out the contract. I don't know if it's different from the residential contracts I send out or.
How big of an apartment?
One of them is 12 units. The other one is 18 units. And when I'm trying to research them, using PropStream or Batch, it's not even giving me, it's saying nothing pops up. So I'm trying to figure out what I should be putting this under contract for and how I'm even supposed to send out this contract. Okay.
So let's step back here. Where are you in the process in talking to the seller?
I told him I'll get an offer out here soon. He's ready. I'm ready. I just don't know. Really.
So the most, as far as the contract, you'd be surprised, but a simple commercial contract, usually 12 units and below, they're actually simpler than a FAR bar. They're very, very they're very vanilla and generic. It's we're all our FAR bar is almost 20 pages in the state of Florida. It's ridiculous for a regular home.
Yeah.
So I do commercial properties. I'm like, is this it for the paperwork? Usually most due diligence on an apartment is usually 90 days.
Okay.
Some of the aggressive markets, 60 is becoming more common. So the contract's actually, it's pretty simple. It's just, the language is written a little bit more to accommodate multiple units. Did you figure out pricing on it? You're trying to look at comps, correct?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of posted in a group, a 30 unit apartment bringing in $17,000 a month at this, and a bunch of people are messaging.
So which market are you in?
Well, I'm actually in Georgia. I live in Georgia, but this here is in Ohio. This property, these 2 properties.
So Ohio's it's the
Columbus
apartment
or Cleveland
central
area?
Yeah, it's in the Cleveland area. I'm from Ohio, so I know that I don't know the area like the back of my hand, but I'm pretty familiar.
There's so many Cleveland guys that'll buy that deal.
Yeah.
So you've been searching out cash buyers. There's a lot of BSers. Everybody wants the daisy chain apartments. Apartments are smoking hot right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's what you need to do. You need to figure out. Do you have the rent rolls for the property?
Yeah, he sent me what everything's renting at and what the monthly expenses are.
Okay. So
get it under contract first. Don't
get it under contract. Try to set a 90-day due diligence.
If you post that deal on Facebook,
you'll be
someone's going to
buried,
try to steal
and it's going to get back to them.
Well,
blow up in
I
your
didn't
face.
post like the address or anything. I just posted the number, like the 16.
Yeah.
Bro, be careful, man.
People
Just telling you.
are amazing what they can do with technology, with like, especially apartments, because
Even you
they're
got a
very
picture,
identifiable.
people can search. They're gonna search pictures. If it's like a public Google
Yeah.
image, just be careful.
Okay.
So did you? So here's a couple things, because I have experience in doing this. You're dealing with the seller direct, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So get the rent rolls, get everything in there. Have you seen what the expenses are on it?
Yeah, he sent me a Excel sheet,
Okay.
spreadsheet of what they are.
So here's a. How long has he owned it for, roughly?
Only about 6 or 7 months. He owns restaurants, and he said it's just too much. Like, he can't manage the restaurants and the apartment, so he's just ready to get rid of it.
So is he looking for? Is he just want to cash out, or is he open to terms, or?
I know he's looking for cash. I didn't ask him about terms because I don't really have much knowledge in the creative financing world. So I didn't even.
So does he have a mortgage on it, or does he own it outright?
It's free and clear.
Okay. Did he say what? So its problem is his just time, right?
Yeah, he's ready to get it. Like, he's like, I want these off my hands.
So the biggest challenge with apartment buildings, 12 units, it's not that hard to figure out, is trying to figure out any like hidden time bombs in it. Like you want to make sure he's telling you the truth. Verify, is it just time?
Yeah.
So however you can do your research if he owns like a busy restaurant or another business. In my experience, most people, 6 months is not a lot to like find a track record. Like you like to have an owner's like 24 months, you can get a really good pulse on the property. Yeah. He bought it with a vision of something. It's very hard for apartments to like identify their motivation and why they bought it. Sometimes guys just want to buy apartments buildings to get depreciation, like do it all the time. Like you just got to, or they do a 1031. So a rule of thumb, if it's showing $17,000 in income a year, correct? Roughly?
A month. 17,000 a month is what. Okay. Yeah.
So focus on what the expense ratio is. Now brokers and realtors do this all the time. They get the expenses as low as they possibly can to get the highest NOI to give you the highest cap rate. Did you, have you figured out what the net is on this? Have you come up with an approximate number?
So you're talking about what he nets after everything is paid
expensive,
for. Yeah. So that's about $12,000, $12,000 to $13,000, because it's like different for each month. Like what he sent me in an Excel sheet, like one month it was like 12.5, the next month it was 13. So it's
So there's like a simple formula, just to let you know, apartments cost money to maintain, and when owners don't put money into them and they try to drive the net operating income up to get a higher sale price, it's always a nightmare. So you actually want to see legitimate expenses. A good, healthy apartment is going to have a minimum of 35 to 40% of the money go back into repairs to the property. They're rentals. There's constant turnover. There's constant, especially in Ohio. I use the 50% rule. So like if somebody says, listen, my apartment, it brings in $100,000 for the year. Say it's a simple apartment. I just assume I just cut it in half right off the bat. And I calculate my number. That way I don't have to go through mental fatigue, because going through financials of like large apartment buildings is exhausting. It's expensive, and you usually have to bring professionals in. So if it doesn't pass the Litman's test, don't waste your time with it. Okay. So look at the numbers and just like kind of cut it in half and go, does this make sense? And then basically what you do is you take the net operating income and figure out what the cap rate is and see if the cap rate's in the area. Now the cap rate, you can go online and figure out what area a cap rate is, like for free. Yeah.
How do you do
it? You can just like Google it and research it.
You go to like Bigger Pockets and just look at like Cleveland cap rates. They know it like the back of their hand.
Yeah. So it depends on, I assume it's probably, it's probably not going to be an A+ property being 12 units. So it's like you try to figure the classification. You can look up Trulia, look up in the area and look what the crime rates is and see what it's rated for crime, because that's how people rent stuff. So like if it's in a better neighborhood, they pay more. If it's in a off-centered neighborhood, they're going to pay less. Yeah. And then you can figure out what the cap rate is, and you can reverse engineer off what the net operating income, because all the cap rate is, guys, I know it sounds fancy. I let it throw me off for years. You take the net and you divide it by the price and you get a cap rate. So this is the one-time algebra will pay off in your life, but you don't need a high school teacher to teach you this or a college professor. Get the net. So if an apartment produced $100,000, I'm going to put it at 50,000, and then you can reverse engineer so if it's at a 6 cap and that's what people are buying at, you can kind of figure out the price there. Your comps are the cap rates. That's how you do it. That's how they do apartment complex. They're not based on comps. They're based on cash flow.
Okay.
So you got to calculate. And all the cap rate is if I put all my money into it, I would get 6% return. Is that good or is that bad? Well, I can tell you this, too high of a cap rate indicates it's a risky deal. Too low of a cap rate means I'm paying too much for it. And cap rates they're crazy right now. Like a lot of high-end properties, the high-end stuff is like 1, if not a negative cap rate, because there's so much competition for them. But you're probably going to wind up in the 6 to 9 cap rate is the average kind of going on to it. But like, it could be 5, like 5%. You're like, I don't know. But I will tell you, the more you kind of underwrite the deal without like driving yourself nuts, the more you'll find a qualified buyer. Because by the way, when you put those deals out there, everyone says, yes, I want to buy it, right? I'll buy it. I'll take it. So just do like some basic math. So like 50%, like I know some people won't, like they want to see 55% go to expenses. Remember, when people are spending money on the property, they're taking care of it. When you see someone at like 10%, they're either lying to you or the property's getting ready to fall completely apart because they don't take care of it. So it's how'd you get the deal off cold calling or?
Yeah, pretty much cold calling.
But I will tell you this, if you can get a creative deal with someone like that, it takes a lot of pressure off the price. And by the way, if you can get them to agree some sort of terms, your deal's much more sellable. It's like it goes through the roof. So you want to open up that conversation with them. And by the way, most units under 20 sell with some sort of seller financing.
Yeah.
Okay. And if he's truly motivated, he will definitely do it. So the idea is like, you just find the least amount like he would take up front and then structure monthly payments and then try to get the longest term possible. But, don't make it like 12 months because I don't think you're get a lot of biting on it, but it's, I love apartments, man. I think it's like buying 12 houses at once. You're onto it. Like you're good. Yeah. You got a lot of there's a lot of guys that's all they do is buy in Ohio, the Columbus area, stuff like that. And they're in demand. So you said you had 2 of them though, right?
Yeah. Same owner, like he owns both of them. So for a total of 30 units. And we're just trying to figure out how to even write this stuff up, how to research it properly.
Yeah. And listen, you kind of look at it like, don't overcomplicate it. It's like 12 houses put together in like one area.
Yeah.
And then you got to look at the things. And so I'm not familiar with Ohio. Like, is the water metered? Is there gas like with heat and stuff? So I'm in Florida, so everything's so damn hot here. Doesn't matter. But like little things like that make a tremendous difference. Yeah. Like a lot of apartment buildings, guys don't include. When the guy builds it, they try to keep it as cheap as possible. They put in 1 meter and then they try to add it back to the rent. But like a lot of people abuse that. It gets expensive. And then like you can go in, sometimes you can spend a couple $1,000s and sub-meter him and pass the expense on to the unit owners, which drives up the net income, which drives up your price. And so what's the occupancy of these on average? Are they fully occupied?
Yeah, right now they're all 30 are fully occupied.
Yeah. So and then look at the market rents in the area and see if they're aligned and see if there's any opportunity. So in the perfect scenario is you buy one that's underutilized. Market rents are down. They need some rehab, some sort of value add. So just being that they're 100% in these 6 months, you're really going to have to look in the numbers, but I wouldn't spend any money underwriting. I would just try to get 60 or 90 days and then go through like the basic math, and it's just cash flow. So you know how to calculate the cap rate, right? You take the net and divide it by price, and it gives you the cap rate. So if you have the net, you can divide it by the cap rate to get the ideal price.
Gotcha.
So it's really straightforward. There's a lot of play in this stuff.
Yeah.
But it's and if you know if you do it right, then you will be able to screen your buyers to find a real buyer for the Because it's not your typical cash buyer that's going to buy a home. They've got to understand like what they're getting into. And a good cash buyer for an apartment, he or she knows their numbers well.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And if they don't think you know your numbers, they're either going to try to take advantage of you or they're not going to take you seriously. So do as much but it's all it is 12 houses put together.
Okay.
Economies of scale. So you're on it. You just got to kind of do the numbers and kind of do the litmus test on it. If so, you have a NOI and you probably have a rough NOI right now in front of you somewhere, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So, and does the guy, did he throw a price out to you yet?
He said his lowest offer right now is at 900,000. But
okay,
I feel like once I'm ready to send over the agreement, I can get him a lot lower than that just because how ready.
So like a rule of thumb is in today's market, if you can get an apartment complex that is in, it's not falling down, it's running at 100% occupancy. If you get a double digit cap rate, like it's like buying a house 50, 60 cents on the dollar, same type of deal. Very rarely does someone get a double digit cap rate. So I'm just kind of giving you a go. If it hits like a 9 or 10, you're in a good spot. If you're at like 2 or 3, you're going to have to get a lot of wiggle room on it. And then, but apartment owners, you go through the numbers with them and you tell them why this is the most I can offer.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. He knows what the problem is. If he's truly out of time, he doesn't have the energy. He wants to sell it as quickly as possible. If he wanted to tip you top dollar, why wouldn't he just list it with a broker,
Right. Yeah.
So I think you have room with it. The problem is some people will give it to like an accountant to start underwriting and like an inspection on apartments around $3,000. And they start spending all this money. Go, you got to pass the litmus test. If it doesn't make sense, you don't want to spend a dime doing any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's a crash course on apartments. I know, but guys, you can wholesale anything. Like it doesn't matter if it's 1,000 units. It's all broken down math wise. Why do you think companies can have like $1 billion assets? They break it down on what the return's going to be. So all a cap rate does is figure out like what your return rate is, and then you can figure out that market. There's historical studies on each market on what the cap rates are, and it kind of give you a range. We're in a little bit more aggressive market, so they might be a little bit off, but if you got a real deal, I can point you in the direction for like a real buyer. Okay. And if you got creative terms, you can get a much better number.
Definitely.
Yeah, that'll help as long as everything makes sense, obviously. But
But just what was there any other questions or like I'm excited. I love doing deals like that.
Let's get it going. Get that offer.
You could potentially flip 20 houses in like one press of a button, but it's definitely work, man. Like people, they pay attention. It's not like you can't do like loosey goosey numbers like on a house. Like you give me 100,000, like asking for like people asking close to $1 million. They're more astute investors, and they want to see like okay, they're gonna and get familiar with the jargon too. Oh my God. Yeah. Every broker I go in commercial, they try to talk above your head. Like what's a lot of them like to use like coverage ratios, DTRs, DTCs. I'm like, what? Like the first I'm like, what are you talking about? Is that a football team?
They're trying to talk over you.
And so just get familiar with it. You can Google any of them. They're all right there. It's all free online. It's not that hard. So like every time someone asks me a question, I go, I have no idea. Yeah. And I would make it a mission to go learn. It took me, I'm embarrassed to admit, it took me like 4 years to really learn the commercial space. I was so confused. I felt overwhelmed and I hired a lot of expensive gurus. And I just started going out. I go, why don't we just do what we do in wholesaling houses and just start cold calling people, texting them, and it worked the exact same way. So, and by the way, I love apartment units that are like 25 and under and are 10 and over because like the really like mom and pop flippers don't touch them and the big guys don't want them. So that is the sweet spot in my opinion.
Okay. All right. So, cool. So I'll work on what I need to. And as long as it makes sense, I'll try to get back in contact with you guys and we can figure something out.
Yeah. Perfect. What was his name again? Isaiah. I got bad eyes, Isaiah. So
Isaiah, thank you so much.
Awesome.
Any last questions that we can help you out before next week?
No, that was really my only 2 questions was trying to figure out how to go about this.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it,
man.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Get that offer, man. Action.
Yeah, the contract's simple. You can Google one up or find one online, or you even use like a template. But it's actually a really simplified realtor contract. It's really not that complicated.
Boom.
It all comes down to the terms, price, time, stuff like that. Inspection periods.
Awesome.
Got you. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Emilio,
What's going on, guys?
how are you? How are you? How can we help you become a better wholesaler today?
What kind of hats you got on?
Oh, I wore it just for you, Rick.
Oh, it's a fishing.
The beaver.
Yeah,
It's a beaver fishing.
Ah, that's cool, man.
It's a beaver holding a bass.
That's the most Oregon hat I've ever seen.
Where are you?
Oh man, that's how we do it out here.
He's in
Well,
Oregon.
Oh, he's in Oregon?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How's the fishing there?
Steelhead and salmon is not as good as it used to be, but it's good.
Yeah. The entire country is the same story, different state.
Yep, that's what it sounds
How
like.
can we help you out?
What's going
What's
on?
up?
So I've been doing direct mail for like 3 or 4 months, and still haven't gotten like a deal. So I'm kind of trying to like switch it up, and I wanted to get your guys' opinion or like some advice. I'm thinking about going door knocking for pre-foreclosures. Like, I've heard that not too many people do it because they don't like it or it's rough. So I kind of want to do what people don't want to do. So I just hear that door knocking on pre-foreclosures and all that is kind of a good way to get a deal going. So I just wanted to get your guys' like opinion or kind of like what you guys think.
Yeah, I mean, are you comfortable doing it?
It's a tough one.
I mean, I've never done it, but I'm a talker. I don't really have a problem like talking.
Okay.
And my wife sometimes has to get me out of areas because I talk to strangers. So
You'll get deals. It's going to be tough a little. Like I've done door knocking pre-foreclosures. It's a try and true method of getting deals, but it's not easy.
I started out doing it, man. I was a desperate man.
Yeah,
So I would get a list of foreclosures. I will tell you, that's a long time ago, 19 years ago.
I was doing it like 3 years ago.
I know the world's changed. COVID's changed a lot of stuff. So you just you got to give them a little more space.
Have a mask on.
Have a mask
I don't
ready
care
on.
what mask thing you like. Just
it's not
be
about
respectful
politics.
for those people. You never know if someone could be
That's the
having
only
chemo treatment or something. Like you just be respectful of those people.
That's the only downside.
But that's really it right now. Like go out there.
But without COVID, I tell you to just just rip, because you're doing something that very few people will do.
That's why it works.
And that's why, because you skip the text, you skip the phone, and you're at the it's like a built-in appointment. You're right there. The basic thing is you got to kind of get your spiel down when people like you go, hey, I hear your house is in foreclosure. Like you got to be subtle about it.
You're gonna get some responses. You got to practice. Like, hey, knock knock. What do you want?
They attack hard.
Like it's hard. It's
on the phone. You can hang up.
Because remember, they're in pre-foreclosure for a reason. They're behind other money. That you might be a loan shark for crying out loud. Like, who are you?
Repo man. Like, they're used to it,
are you gonna steal my car? Like, hey.
And the other obstacle, I'm giving you full disclosure. These damn ring things.
Yes, the ring. I'm so glad door knocked before that time.
What do you say?
What do you say?
Oh, the ring doorbell thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's they do hard screening. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I do it too. Like, what the hell you want? And it's like I feel like I'm on a phone. You might as well be 1,000 miles away.
But it's still I had a quick question about the house.
Yeah.
Just a quick question about the house, and like, what do you want to know? Your job's not to embarrass them in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So you got to figure out what your spin is, and you got to be really comfortable with it, because I had a hard time getting over that one for a while.
Yeah,
mine used to be. I just had a quick question about your house when I got them there. I noticed, the pending issue. what do you guys, what are you guys doing about it or something like that? And either they
or
would
you can
chew
be
me out
the
or they'd
neighborhood
talk
guy.
to me.
Like, hey, I'm just seeing if you're interested in selling. I'm looking to buy some houses in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
Or like, I had no idea you're in foreclosure. Or you can go after that. I found you acting like you don't know, kind of like cold calling probates is like, hey, I saw grandma died. I want to buy the house. Like, that ain't going to go well.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm looking to buy properties in the area. Well, I was kind of thinking about it. That's
Also-
a better one.
Also, having a letter in your hand, they can be duplicated 1,000 times with all your contact
Sticky notes.
information there.
Sticky notes. Hey,
And just say, hey, listen, hey, I'm just dropping off this letter at your door. But while you're here, we can have a conversation because you're going to come across a lot of doors where no one's home. They won't let you in.
get a sticky note, yellow. Hey,
If
this
you
is
made-
Emilio.
Yeah.
Give me a call back. Phone number. Done.
And they sell now. In the old days, I got in trouble for this. We used to go to FedEx and grab their, the urgent package things. You can grab like 50 of them. Those things are expensive.
I know.
I got in trouble doing that.
USPS.
Them too, but now they're putting them behind the counter. They're getting
We
smart.
don't promote that or anything.
We don't
like
promote
that. We don't promote it.
That's why they're
That-
losing money.
It's an option.
But
Break
you
some
can
of the
buy
doors.
them. You can buy them to mimic it, and you can buy them in like a batch of 50. And nobody can resist opening those things. Like, if you ever got a package, like, everybody opens it instantly. They're scared to
It
death.
could be $5 million or the IRS.
It
either
cost
or.
you like 80 cents or a piece or $1.50. But if you're going to take the effort to go knock on 50 or 100 doors and understanding probably 70% of them aren't going to answer, you might as well leave something at the
I think
door
the
while you're
sticky
there.
note also, if there's a car there, open the windshield, slip it under the note.
Yeah.
And when someone drives, oh shoot, there's a sticky note here with a note on it. I better read it.
Yeah.
100% read rate. I know people that don't like door knocking, but they'll do the stickies and just run off, and they work really well. And then you don't have to do it. You can have somebody know. Just do those little stickies. They're great.
It's good. Or you could do it like, hey, I'm just dropping this off, but while you're here.
But be efficient. I think another thing.
Yeah.
It happened in my day, probably not in your day. You get a MapQuest back in the day.
Don't act like it's 1930.
There's there's softwares that are free where you can put in the addresses and it'll show you what's the best route. It'll probably save you like 30 minutes every day you're doing it. Like, hey, this street, versus
that
you'd
is
be
the
like,
challenge.
that's probably closest. No, if you have a bullet point, you go through it.
It's not like 10 foreclosure or pre-foreclosures are all on the same street.
Yeah.
We'd like to think it is, but he's got a point. You spend a lot of time.
There's softwares
zigzagging all over
online,
your
like a
time.
free route thing.
Good
Put 100 in
point.
there
Good point. I don't know where you're going.
because
With
you had
that.
MapQuest. I remember back in the day, you're like,
I had to print
you
them
got to
out.
take a left on the street and then take a
Listen,
right.
we used
and
to have
then
an entire booklet I'd
Yeah.
have on the doorstep.
there's a garden gnome.
It's like a
Don't
map.
keep going, but there should be a garden gnome. Then take a second. Like it ain't
You
that
kids
time.
these days, you just
Yeah.
disregard it. I got the directions. I'm like, okay, knock yourself out.
I used to fight it. Remember you had. I remember when you first got the. Remember the GPS?
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like the
you
office.
just-
Like
yeah,
I
you
don't
stick
trust
it
it. I don't
with
trust it.
I don't trust it.
I don't trust it.
Now
You
it's
go on the
all
lake.
on our phone. So it's
Yeah.
you're fine with it. You just got a little precautions with like COVID and just have a backup plan because
Practice, man.
you're gonna have a high
Practice.
ratio of no one being there, but make your time count.
Top 3 I found are: who are you? What do you want? And what are you doing here? You got to know exactly what to say because if you're just you're done.
Yeah, they'll slam the
Deal
door.
dead.
Yeah, I have I follow this guy on YouTube. His name is Matt Beard. I guess he talks about it a lot. And he actually he gives out like little calling scripts, or his door knocking script, he calls it. And when somebody opens the door and they ask, he just says you're a home specialist and that,
We love
that-
Matt. We've had Matt on before. He's a great dude. We've done
Oh,
deals
yeah.
with Matt.
So-
That's what he does. I don't do it. He runs not a bigger company than us, but he runs a company with more virtual staff. So he kind of goes to, hey, we're a home specialist company because his people knocking on it. Matt's not going out here knocking on those doors. I mean, he'll do some for videos and stuff, but he's not going out there. He's having someone else do it. So of course, when someone else goes there, of course they're going to say that. If you're the wholesaler, I go with the, hey, we're the little guy approach. Like, hey, I'm just here to buy houses.
Yeah.
He does the other way. There's no difference. Like I remember I had a podcast with one of the other guys that said, hey, when they do the virtual wholesaling closing, they're like, I got to talk to my financing department. That works too, but that's just a different style. Like I don't do that. I'm like, hey, I'm just buying the house. depends on what kind of thing you're going for. I like to be truthful and honest with people.
Yeah, and the more authentic and local they think you are, the better the connection.
That's what we've seen. But hey, either one works. Just don't mix them. Choose one. But Matt's a great dude. His door knocking stuff works. So
I always
unless it's hard, he does it in Phoenix. So
when I went door to door, I want to let them know I was the decision maker, and like if you really want to sit down, we can figure this out. So it's listen, it's what you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Just have a dialed in like plan and approach. And as Zach said, the biggest 3 objections, you got to know them because you're good with the gab, but you got to your gab's not going to work if you can't get past that.
Oh, I forgot the 4th one. F you. Like it's just, you got to get ready for it. But it's truthfully, you cannot be just surprised when someone just says something crazy. You got to know exactly what to do. Train it and you'll do well. That's my advice.
No, I kind of like that little, because it's just going to be me, you know, like that's why I was wondering, like, I don't know if I should say like
it works. Hey, what Matt does works. It's just we do it differently.
And his is more of a scalable approach where I think.
Yeah,
I mean, you're not going to sit there and knock like
But he does like 6 markets.
He does 6 markets.
So it's
and
different.
He's got people out sticking things.
It's just
on the
different,
door.
you know.
So, listen, whenever you can get in like belly to belly in front of someone, you have a huge advantage. And listen, I love virtual marketing, but we eat it up in our local market. It's like, oh, they're going to send you an offer. How about I just drive it over? How can someone buy? I always, and I use this, and I'm a virtual buyer too. And I'm at a disadvantage when I go to your market. But when people say, hey, did they look at the house? I'm like, how can someone buy a house without looking at it? Now, you and me both know you can do that. Most homeowners go, yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Oh yeah. I get that all the time.
And you can start breaking it up and doing it. So listen, I think it's an aggressive approach and it's one that's often overlooked. I think society's a little bit standoffish now, but hopefully it's temporary and things will go back to normal. But and be careful to check. Like we have a county where it's like it's illegal to do it. It's like crazy. Like it's the vacuum door to door, and I think the Omaha Steaks guy ruined it for us. So
but that's it, man. I mean, what are the questions you got? Just go out there and do it. I am a huge believer. I think you are too. Testing what works in your market and then going in it. So
and you're never going to know if you don't do it. So just do it. You're curious about it. You've had some previous instructions, and I think we just kind of help validate, put a little bit more of a personal touch on it.
Yeah.
Monday we're doing a full breakdown on the eviction moratorium, pre-foreclosure, everything. So
some cool stuff.
Check it out there. But like, hey, it's a good time to be doing it.
All right. No, yeah, that's what I've been. As soon as I heard the eviction stuff going on, I was like, it's time.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Let's go.
The knuckles, you know.
Get it going.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much.
Of course. Catch them up.
Thanks.
See you.
All right. We got what's up?
Zach, what's up? Hey, Rick.
I'm kind of embarrassed of the background. This is embarrassing.
What's that?
No, it's all
You're the wrong guy. He did the last background, remember?
Oh, awesome. I love that one, dude.
Yeah.
I said, Zach, put it up.
I told you, I'm not like these regular YouTubers where I'm like, I'm above everyone. Like, I remember all these people. Like, I'm trying to help them.
Yeah.
So,
that's some good skills. I could
that's
never
great. But
like that.
Hey, man, what's up? How are you?
Thank you for having me, guys.
He's in Raleigh.
Raleigh. North Carolina?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just Utah. North Carolina. Just kidding. What's up, man? How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
I'm doing every day above ground is an amazing day.
That is.
Gotcha. Awesome. Yeah. So we hit an interesting milestone. We have about 11,000 cold calls cleared over the past month and like week.
Nice.
Okay.
So we're covering ground, but I think the issue we're having is A, the lead quality with the list come from PropStream, and B, not getting any deals. A lot of the leads we're getting are people that, they want, at market value. We focused on owner absentee lists. We're in the process of pulling government lists. They're giving us ridiculous traction, and they're not letting me through. So I'm still trying. I've found all the contact forms online, and I keep calling, and the fire marshals just contacted me. They were like, we're not going to do that for you, but I'll try to find another way around it soon. So it's ridiculous. It's been a week of trying to find, who to talk to and getting past all this stuff. So I'm still working on that. In the meantime, I've been calling thousands and thousands of owner absentees, and a lot of them, they repaired their house already. They did the renovations, and they're looking to make, a bang for their buck, which I understand, right? So I just tell them, what about a realtor? And, the conversation usually ends there because, that's what they do. They list with a realtor. And so I think the problem here is that I went through a lot of the lists on PropStream. I've pulled vacants across the entire state, actually. Onslow County, Fayetteville, Greensboro, Winston, everywhere. I went everywhere, and I pulled all the vacants, everything that I could. Cold called that, didn't work. Got few properties, didn't really work out. So now I'm just not sure what to do, because I'm trying to consistently get more leads and be at a place where I can start closing more deals. But yeah, I'm not really sure where to go from there at this point. I'm also trying to incorporate virtual marketing as much as possible, because I want to scale as well when I have the chance. So I'm not sure what to do.
What's your opinion? 11,000 calls, no deals.
Well, okay. So let me start out with welcome to wholesaling. So you, if your why's strong enough and your commitment's there, you got to just refine your approach. So A for effort. So 11,000 calls over what would you say, a 30-day period?
About, yeah.
Okay.
I first of all, so just so you know, how long have you been wholesaling for?
I started learning in May, and I was learning from May until mid-July. So I was taking
So when did you
notes,
start your first marketing?
diving mid-July.
Mid-July. So it's been roughly almost a month, basically a month.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
Welcome to wholesaling.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, it's, I've seen some people get a lead, like a deal in their first 100. And I've seen people go as high as 100,000, like beating their head against the ground. Is it more challenging now? Yeah, this won't last. I promise you it won't last. Like it's just like any other thing. When the party's over, people who thought they were going to make the fast money leave. So I always start when I have problems not getting deals is I start with the list. So it's great you're using PropStream. We use it. It's an economy of scale for us. It's cheaper than all the other, every other source I've ever used. And plus we use it for comping and stuff. So it makes sense. So in essence, if you look at it, it's kind of free. So you're maximizing that every month, which you get 10,000, right? So
actually, yeah, I just got on the 25,000 a month lead plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've got to, I'm hearing the word scaling and stuff. You don't worry about scaling right now, because you've got to get your process down, because believe it or not, is I mean, what are you spending? Like, are you a one-man army, or you got a partner, or how are you running your business?
Yeah. So I just recently hired a VA as well. I actually have sales experience. I was on the phone. I had multiple businesses. Because I started my first business when I was 16 years old. I'm 21 now. So, and
you're an old man now, huh?
Yeah, I'm old. But my why doesn't really change. If my why can get me past 5 years of things not going right, I'm pretty sure I could last as long as I want here. So I'm here for the long haul. I know how to work the phones. I know how to do acquisitions. I've closed multiple $1,000 deals before over the phone. So I know how to talk with over the phone. The VA, I trained her extensively. I make sure that we have our own system. I just got Podio up and running. So she definitely knows what she's doing. And the leads that I call for acquisitions, I always ask them this to make sure that, test the VA in a way. I asked them, and our assistant called you, right? And they're like, yes, she went over everything with us. And I'm like, okay, good. And it's all on, we have a spreadsheet of a bunch of notes, about deal specifics, mannerisms that, the person is going through. So, we have a little thing going on. And it's going good. At least I'm getting, some leads here and there. I think my issue is actually finding somebody that's actually motivated and the properties like make sense. So I got a deal recently, not a deal, a lead, and this lead, it's a house over it was in Fayetteville. So it's the perfect motivation. So the tenants aren't paying and he wants out. And I heard, I'm like, thank God, yes, finally we have something. Finally, God. And then I look at the property and I'm like, oh crap, ARV is $50K, and the house is in shambles. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, like there's just nothing I can do about that. Like he wants out, but and he wants ARV, so he's not gonna budge on that. He wants ARV as like to add on to the.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere though.
He's not going anywhere. Yeah, and I'm just like, well, you know,
so he's going to be in your follow up.
Exactly. I'm going to wait a couple of weeks and I'm going to keep calling him until, you know, something works out. But as of now, this deal is not going anywhere because it needs repairs. The tenants aren't paying. It's awful. So I guess my problem is just finding that one, you know, that one guy that actually wants to sell, and you know, the property, there's actually enough spread for me to actually make anything on it. I don't want to lose money or break even.
So are you 100% virtual?
Yeah.
Okay. So you said you're in Raleigh, right?
I am. Yeah. I try to list in Raleigh. Yeah. But I also trying Charlotte a lot, Greensboro, Fayetteville, and Winston-Salem.
I'm telling you, drive for dollars.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you something, and you can take it. Who says it? I'm going to throw it out there and stick on the wall, but I'm just telling you, I've been there. Number one, you've got good energy and effort, but remember I talk about massive action is just, it's got to be more. You're missing what I call the kind of precise action. So the fact that you have previous sales experience stuff, that's great. But I'm going to tell you, wholesaling actually has very little to do, in my opinion, with sales ability. It's about connecting with people. Right. For activity level, I'm going to give you there. You're overlooking like some of the basics. So is there a reason? Why did you pick virtual? And tell me the truth, because I can walk you through this.
Most definitely, yeah. So I started out in e-commerce a long time ago, and so
got it.
Yeah, so I'm just a recluse, I guess you could say. I don't really go outside that much.
So here's the thing. I tell people, how long you been in Raleigh for?
My whole life.
Okay. You know Raleigh very well, right? You know the streets, you know the houses, you know average price points, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. You're skipping the basic step of wholesaling, starting in your backyard. I can tell you this right now. A face-to-face meeting will trump anything you'll ever do virtually. Hands down, without a question, and it'll give you a stronger foundation. Listen, I do virtual, but if I come to Raleigh, I know I'm getting listen, when we do any type of virtual market, we get our teeth kicked in for 90 days. Trying to figure out the volume. Everything you're going through is what every virtual person goes through. Okay. Because you're not the first person to do it. I will tell you, I love virtual because in theory, it's perfect, isn't it? Like I never leave my house and do anything. The reality is though, it is a challenge, especially in this given type of market. So what you're going through for the virtual is what everybody else in the country is going through. The gurus just won't tell you it because everybody wants you to go, okay, virtually, I close 3 deals. I never meet anybody. I stay in my underwear all day. We don't subscribe to that. Our average spread is close to 40K because we meet people in person. Yeah. Now, do I want to meet? Heck, I prefer not to meet them in person, but I have a huge advantage over anybody doing this business virtually. And I'm in one of the most saturated markets in the country. South Florida, California, New York, we all have the same problem. But the people that lock in and do it, listen, doing local deals means you meet people belly to belly and you get more, you can get more compartmentalized, your code violation lists and stuff like that. But I will tell you, I'd say 75% of the people we deal with on the phone, they want full retail. When we go meet them, it changes. And that's how it works. I'm just telling you, that's the difference. It's the virtual thing, man. I tell you, if I could run my entire business virtually, I would do it. There's a reason the virtual guys make $3 to $5 grand a deal. They've got to do massive volume to even make the numbers work.
I would say I would consider heavily reverse trying for dollars, the sticky notes, using that VA money for that, and going on as many appointments as possible. One of them's going to stick. Kind of like what you're saying.
Yeah, just stop worrying about scaling. Get dollar. You need to get income. You need to get revenue, and just keep in mind you've only been doing this like a month. So the like experienced guys doing virtual, it's a 90-day process, and it's a lot of failing. It's like we are clueless on what to put stuff under contract for, and only through experience and time do we ever figure it out. But everybody's going through the same problem, like virtually, because I have so many virtual guys in my backyard. I focus on my backyard because it's the easiest way to compete with them. Now, because once you can meet with someone, they can put the guard down. You and me would have a deeper conversation if we sat down in person to person. Why? Because I can physically see what you're doing. I can see if you're looking at me, if you're looking away, if you're upset. I can look at pictures on the wall. I have a huge distinct advantage. And you know how sales works. When you can do that, it's great. It doesn't matter what you sold before. You can learn from the processes, but I'm just telling you, look local. I'm telling you, the personal connection is everything. It's what got, if I started out virtually, I would have got, well, nobody knew how to do it back then. So by the way, you already know all you need is 1 or 2 deals a year in your backyard, and you should be able to make 3 times the profit you do on any virtual deal you do. And you can use that as seed money, bank money, marketing money, and then you can still keep attacking market. Yeah. I tell people when they do virtual, test until you get a deal. Yeah. Try to identify, and it takes 3 months. It's like a guy, before you dig for gold, you're better off drilling like 15, 20 test pilot holes to try to even get an idea where the gold is. And by the way, the gold's constantly moving in real estate. And it won't always be like this, by the way. And if you can bear through this, you'll be rock solid. You're still a really young guy. Like I can hear it like you're a little bit discouraged about it. Welcome to the club, buddy. Because I'm giving you a suggestion. Go local. I'm just put your energy towards local. Like it's all you need is 1 deal and you get it. And if you're going to get 3 times the profit. And by the way, local, it's easier because you already have you have connections, you know the market. And when you get it under contract, you got a 90% probability of it going through. When you go virtual, dude, it's like 50-50 right now because everyone's locking up stuff for like retail price, hoping they can get a buyer to overpay for that. That's not wholesaling. That's like suicide speculation. So I'd take that direction. Take the energy you're doing on all that and focus it on your local market, or maybe just some like outlying areas. Is it a pain in the butt to go on appointments? Yes, but man, does it work. Like, and if it's, I'm just telling you, man, people can't hide from me when you meet them face to face. It's a real connection that it's what we rely on 100% because we're authentic and we're real. And if you want to help people out in this business, I think just start with there and then grow. It doesn't mean you don't have to do virtual, but if you try to scale the virtual thing and you're already, and I'm telling you, it takes 90 days just to even get established in one market. And that's our problem. When me and Zach pick out another market, we know we have a 90-day learning curve. We're going to bleed for 90 days before we even get paid. And if you go 5 markets where you're going to be bleeding everywhere, and like right now, you have to get proof of concept that this works, period. Yeah. So I know you believe in it. I know you subscribe to it, but now you got to do the actions to like make it to come to fruition. So I'm giving you the path of least resistance because I like what you're doing. I'm just telling you, like 90 days for like one market. And if you're looking to scale it, you're going to grow those numbers like a lot better. So, but like you can look like, so I don't know North Carolina well, but you can look at like outcropped areas. Like you can even counties outside of it. Yeah. You can even do them like somewhat virtually, but like you're very familiar with the lay of the land. And let me tell you, if someone had a deal where you think like, okay, here's my deal. If the property's motivated, you understand what I say when the property's motivated?
Yeah.
You're just looking for the motivated seller. You're not going to get that over the phone very well. I'm just going to be honest with you. Nobody tells you they're dirt to a stranger on the phone. Like you wouldn't do it. You're not going to tell me everything that's wrong with you here on this call. But when I go out and see the property, they can't hide it. If you have the right list and you're identifying like potential problem properties, motivated sellers typically create motivated properties. So a motivated property is anything that's under distress, needs repairs, run down, vacant, bad tenant. Me and Zach are going to do, I think we're doing a live win Monday.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about the eviction moratorium, huge opportunity because you're going to be buying a lot of properties with bad tenants.
We could have done the live today, but I really want to get everything in place.
Yeah.
Just kind of get everyone's opinion.
And we're putting our attack together in our local market.
Yeah,
We come across these things all the time.
We're going to break it down, but I'm telling you, take that action today. I would go more, I would not go more macro. I'd go more micro when it comes to your market, counties around it, and get more in person. I'm telling you,
and local stuff will always pay off for you.
Once you get that first 2 deals, the rest are inevitable. I think, who said that? I think Jim Rohn said it. Like your first million is tough, but the second's inevitable after the first. Like it's like the deal.
And you already have intel that even PropStream can't give you in your local market. Like, there's nothing better than someone who knows the lay of the land and everything you do. And as I tell people, man, like go find bird dogs. Have you tried that? Like, it's like bird dogs. A lot of people, it's complicated. No. Bird dogs are just people you reach out to and let them know what you do and let them know you'll take care of them if they help you out legally. So my favorite, you know what my favorite bird dog is? Do you know? It's a bartender. They know everyone's problem in town. I don't go to the bar, but I'm just telling you, like, it's like you go get a drink, talk to the bartender, kind of let them know what you do and let them know that you'll take care of them. Like, all you have to do is point me in the directions. A bird dog's only job, because it doesn't speak, he points in the direction where there's a potential motivated seller. So you're so focused on motivated sellers, find a motivated property. And I promise you'll find a motivated seller. And you talk about the one that I'll follow up in a week or two. Mm-hmm. Don't be surprised if it's a year or two. Plant the seed. And you just got to be in front of them like when it happens, because I love those. Anytime we have a motivated property, meaning there's something that's never, ever going to let it sell retail, I want to make sure that thing stays in my CRM until they tell me to like die. F off and die. Don't ever call me. Even then, I'm not going to take them off the list. Somebody has to buy that property eventually. So like, honestly, it's not uncommon. I've waited 4 years for a deal before. I've got other deals I'm waiting longer than that. But if you're going to commit to wholesaling me the long run, it's just another seed to harvest. We've had deals we've been working on 2 years that were at best, marginal, right, Zach?
Yeah.
And now we're pulling in $60,000, $70,000 profits because we set up a relationship with them a long time ago.
Exactly.
So it's and remember, the market's eventually it's going to change. It won't be like this forever. Everyone thinks it's going to be like this forever. It's not. Like, I've been through multiple cycles. I was through the worst market crash of all time. It was unbelievable. And then like 18 months before that, it was just like it is now. So hang in there. I would go micro. And remember, follow up 6 months is nothing in wholesaling. So many people want the deal now, and I want you to get a deal now, but don't forget about one. If it takes them 6 months to come to fruition to sell that property, he'll remember you. You just got to stay. Don't call him every day, but maybe you call him once a month, every 2 weeks.
Stay relevant. Absolutely.
So just say, hey, listen, I'm just checking up on you, see how things are going. You're not even asking to buy the property. Like, I've been meaning to call you. I forgot. They're like, hey, what's going on with the property? And just kind of go from there. So
that's my advice.
Yeah.
Boom.
Awesome.
Great artwork, by the way.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Most definitely.
We'll
so driving for dollars is a good way to do micro, because PropStream I've exhausted the list.
Reverse driving for dollars.
Oh, what's that?
Oh yeah, look up reverse driving for dollars. Space flip with Rick. Put sticky notes on properties.
Yeah.
And go from there, man. I'm telling you right now, just not random properties, but do it like you have PropStream, so you can pull all the vacancies in your area. Start sticking sticky notes. Don't even door knock. Sticky notes.
Yeah. Gotcha. Remember, when you get a contract in your local market, you have a high probability
go watch
of
that
the deal
video,
working.
Execute it. I promise you, easy way to get a deal right now, especially in your local market. So go after it, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much.
Okay.
The best.
Good luck. See you, man.
All right. That was awesome. So that's it, guys. That is all the time we got today. I truly appreciate you guys watching it. But any final thoughts about changing your life with wholesaling?
Just do it, guys. I mean, I got to tell you, man, 19 years has blinked. And honestly, the truth of the matter is I could literally stop marketing today. I would never low. And I still get deals from people like, hey, Rick, I got this. Everybody knows what I do in town. Everybody knows. And now the idea is to get us known nationally so I can help out as many people as possible. So I'm telling you guys, it's real. It like the only ones it's not real for are the ones that don't want to put the work in for it. And the reason we're sitting here is because I made a brave decision a long time ago just because I couldn't take it anymore. And my why was brutally strong. Take care of my family and spend as much time with my kids as possible. And that's why me and Zach are here right now.
Oh.
And you can do that. You are no different than me. I'm just like, I'm a regular. I was an ADHD kid in school. Zach was a much sharper kid in school. It doesn't matter. We talked to someone earlier. It dropped out of high school. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. Sellers don't care what your education level is. They just want to know that you'll help them out. And if you want to make a true difference, if you want freedom of your time, if you want complete financial freedom, I'm telling you, do yourself a favor. Wholesaling is honestly the fastest way. I never, ever wanted to be a realtor. I never wanted to put up with any of that. God bless realtors, but I'm telling you, you can really change your life. You just got to make a decision. And there's no reason you have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars to learn wholesaling. I look at it like it's your alphabet. You learn your ABCs, you learn wholesaling, and then you can decide to build the bricks from there. And guys, just have fun while you're doing it, man. Like really just have fun. Involve family if you want. Like just have fun. Be lighthearted with people. Don't be so serious. Like people, you got to crack a smile. You got to talk to them. You got to like tell them jokes and just have fun with it. So I love this business. And this is a business that it doesn't matter what your physical ailments are, what disabilities you have, as long as you can carry a conversation with someone, you can literally sit in one spot and do this. But guys, get out, talk to people, more belly to belly conversations. I love this whole virtual thing. Don't get me wrong, guys, but if you're not in your local market, you're doing it backwards and somebody sold you like, oh, it's virtual is sexy. It looks really good on paper. But the reality is we're hearing from people like, it's a lot more challenging than I thought it was. Like you're going to a foreign market. You don't understand the lay of the land. You can't physically look at the properties. A local person will crush you when they do it. And they can connect with the people. So guys, just get started. Everybody's got to start somewhere. I went through the exact same frustrations with you. Zach at 17 went through the same thing. We never let age get in his way. And it's up to you. You're in charge of your financial future. And why enslave and build somebody else's dream? Don't get bribed with a salary. And if you're on a salary, use wholesaling to get you the ultimate freedom on what you want to do. Exactly.
That's it. So guys, we'll see you Monday. We're going to make these gurus sorry for ever selling these courses, and we're going to get it going. So appreciate it, guys. Freewholesaling.com. Thank you so much.